Angels Spring Training Baseball is on the air from Tempe Diablo Stadium here in Tempe, Arizona. It's the Angels and the Oakland A's. Hi, everybody. This is Terry Smith along with Mark Gubicza. Gooby, yesterday the Angels took on the Chicago Cubs, and they might have brought the Chicago weather here to Tempe.
Yeah, Terry, a little cool, but the excitement certainly hasn't been damper whatsoever. This potential in this lineup, the way they're going to be able to score some runs, and the expectations of this team is fantastic. It's good to be able to get this going.
The Angels and the A's today. We have a special guest alongside with us, Angels General Manager Jerry Dipoto. And Jerry, I guess you're happy, as are the players and the coaching staff, to have things underway here in Tempe.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's been a great couple of weeks for us, getting the guys out there, getting them moving. They can get a little stiff today if they stand for too long, but by and large couldn't be happier with how things have gone.
Yeah, Jerry, the thing as far as getting everything working, as far as spring training, the length of spring training, and how you're going to be able to get everybody ready to go.
You know, this is a longer spring training than most years. We're about a week, 10 days longer than we would ordinarily be. We started games a little earlier. We'll have 7 more than we typically have. So, I mean, the key for us at this point with our regulars and our every 5-day starting rotation is to introduce them at the right time so we don't overwhelm them with too many reps before the season starts.
Jerry, I guess there's no rush as far as getting the starters in. We didn't see too many starters yesterday in the split squad, not too many today, maybe a little bit later on in the week.
Yeah, we're probably looking about midweek until we start to see the regulars out there. Like, you know, Chum and Peter Borges, particularly Eric Ibar, who is leaving for the WBC. These guys were ready. They wanted to get out there. But like I said before, Soch and I have talked about it, and he's adamant about the idea that we don't want to stress these guys too early. Let them ease into it, which I think is the right move.
Jerry, you had a spectacular winter. How does it feel to be down here in spring training anyhow? This the thought process of what this year could bring.
Fantastic. You know, we sat here last year with so many great expectations, and it finished with a disappointing end. And this year, the old adage, hope springs eternal, never more true than it is this year. We've got a really talented group of players. I think it's been encouraging to all of us to see the shape that they came in to camp. You've got guys back there that have dropped weight, that are in terrific shape. Our injury list is shorter than it typically is at this time of year, knock on wood. We're excited to get it going.
Jerry, last week a lot was made out of the weight of Mike Trout. Talk about that and let Angel fans know how Trout's doing right now.
Well, you know, Mike, this is not abnormal for Mike. His norm is to go home and heavy lift, bulk up in the offseason. As he enters into the season, like a lot of players, he'll drop weight as we go through spring training with the rigors of everyday play. His body fat is terrifically low. His athleticism or speed have not taken a step back, and he's powering the ball just like he did last summer when we watched him at home. So it's fantastic to see him out there moving around, and we're looking forward to a full season for Mike.
Well, Jerry, you kind of touched on the fact that guys get back into the flow of the games here. Josh Hamilton, Albert Pujols. When can the fans expect to be able to see those guys swinging the bat and doing some damage on some baseballs?
You know, I'd say, well, we're seeing damage out here every day in batting practice. I was just telling Gooby, you know, Josh is beating up the cars in the players' parking lot on a daily basis. But Josh likely sometime middle of next week to get out there and take his reps. Albert, we're going to move a little slower with because of the offseason knee surgery. There's no reason to rush him. Probably closer to mid or end of the first week of March. So more likely still about 10 days away before you'll see that.
Jerry, you went out in the offseason, acquired a new closer, Ryan Matson. Give the fans a little update on where he's at right now here in early spring training.
You know, early on in camp, he came in. Ryan had a minor setback and some soreness in his medial elbow, and we sent him in for an MRI, which came back clean. We gave him about 10 days down so that he could essentially get to a place where he was well rested and not going to go out there and fatigue the elbow anymore. He's throwing the ball very, very freely right now. He's 60 reps at 60 feet, and now we've got him up to the point where we're getting ready to progress him back to the mound. Again, probably sometime middle of next week. His game schedule is going to be predicated on where his arm is at a given point, but right now we're loosely targeting that second, you know, maybe toward the third week of March, and then we'll see where the game's progression takes us.
Like the staff, the way it's set up, everyone's talking about the offense. I love the staff right now.
Really do. You know, Gooby, the depth is what we had in mind as a goal this offseason, and really encouraged by the ways that guys are growing on the backside, whether it be Jason Vargas or Joe Blanton, Tommy Hanson. It's a really good group, really deep, and we feel like 1 through 12 we're in a better position than we were a year ago.
Well, Jerry, we'll talk to you after the game as well, get some more insight on Angels spring training.
Hopefully it warms up by then.
It's the Angels and the Oakland A's here from Tempe, and it's coming up next on Fox Sports West.
with Terry Smith at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Now it's time for tonight's starting lineup. First for the visiting Oakland A's, playing center field and batting first, Coco Crisp. Batting second, the newest Oakland A, Chris Young. Batting third, DHing, Seth Smith. Batting fourth, left fielder, Yones Cespedes. And newest A here also today, playing shortstop, Jed Lowry. Scott Sizemore coming back from injury, batting sixth and playing second base. Derek Barton batting seventh and playing first. Derek Norris will be catching and batting eighth. And Adam Rosales playing third base and batting ninth. And pitching for Oakland, Travis Blackley. And batting first for your Angels, Tommy Field. Batting first, playing shortstop. Batting second, Vernon Wells in left field. DHing, batting third, Mark Trumbo. Batting fourth, Cole Calhoun, and playing right field. Batting fifth, Brendan Harris playing second base. Caleb Cowart playing third base and batting sixth. Alfred Navarro batting seventh, playing first base. Matt Young playing center field for your Angels and batting eighth. And Luke Carlin catching and batting ninth. Pitching for your Angels is Barry Enright, the right-hander, power fastball sinking action. Bat 88 to 92, slider, curve, changeup. Now, let's go to Terry Smith for the first pitch.
All right, Mark, thanks for the warm introduction. Enright has just wrapped up his warm-up tosses, and we are moments away from the start of today's ballgame. Dimensions here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. 340 down the left field side, 358 down in the right field corner. It goes 420 to dead center, and the power alley's 400 feet. Angels have on their red tops, white pants, and the A's have on the green tops and the gray pants. We're just about ready for baseball. Enright gets the sign from catcher Luke Carlin. We're set, and the game's first pitch, it is right in there for a called strike. We're underway, and the count's 0-1. It's actually dropped 1 degree since we went on the air. It's down to 55 here in Tempe with gusting winds up to 30 miles per hour. Next pitch, that one is low and inside. Wonder what the wind chill factor is right now. Must be in the 30s here.
It feels that way, that's for sure. If you're not in the sunshine, you're extremely cold.
No doubt. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count on Coco Crisp, left-handed batter. And here's the next delivery from Enright. Tried to pick at that outside corner and just missed. Coco Crisp last year, .259 batting average, 11 homers. He had 39 stolen bases. See what the A's decide to do with him at the end of the season. He has a club option for next year. Here's the pitch, and he lifts a drive down the right field side, but he pulls that one foul, and he put a good charge into that one, but a long strike.
Well, he had so many big hits for the A's last year in their run to the playoffs and winning the AL West. Very good as far as hitting a fastball. All-speed pitch, if you could throw a slow curve or changeup, very effective against them.
Coco Crisp, an L.A. native. Can hear the wind in the background, really gusting here in Tempe. And the next delivery, Crisp with a little poke in a shallow right field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Cole Calhoun will play it in from right field. So the A's have a runner on, leadoff man on to start off this ball game, and Chris Young will be the next batter. Young came over from Arizona from the D-backs in the offseason. So he switches leagues and certainly figures to be in the scheme of things as far as the A's outfield alignment. Might see some DHing this season for them as well. Right-hander against right-hander is Enright with a quick pickoff toss over to first base, and Crisp is back.
Yeah, Chris Young has a lot of power. And I talked to Kirk Gibson when he was the manager over in Arizona with Chris. He would say he had some of the most amazing power, but it's the consistency with his swing keeps him that batting average not where it should be. It should be upper in the 280s or 300.
And the pitch, he takes that one. It's in there for a called strike. Young had some injury issues last season. Right shoulder problem. He's just a career .239 hitter, and it goes back to what you said, Mark. He's a guy that swings and misses a lot.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about the power, if he has the approach of going the other way, hit the right center, then you're going to see the batting average go up and not lose a lot of power also.
Here's the next delivery, and he takes that one low and away. Seth Smith is waiting on deck. Oakland A's, the defending AL West champions, a surprise record of 94 and 68 last year. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Enright delivers, and the next pitch, it's lifted in the air into left field. Chasing and reaching up, unable to make the grab is Vernon Wells. The ball's over his head. The ball rolls all the way out to the wall in left center. Being waved around and scoring all the way from first base will be Crisp. And at second base with an RBI double is Chris Young. It's 1-0 Oakland.
Boy, the wind right away taking effect on that fly ball. It looked like Vernon initially had a good step. He was going towards the baseball. Then all of a sudden it started carrying over his head. The initial step going in and then carries over his head. You're going to see that a lot for outfielders today. Anything hitting the air, it's going to be an adventure. You got to go back first, try to pick up the ball at that particular point.
So the batter now is Smith. He is DHing for them. Left-handed batter, Enright checking that runner at second, and the pitch. That one is lifted down the left field side, a foul ball. It's going to push back and out of play. Wind blowing from left to right, at times coming in. It's swirling here today, and it is definitely going to be a factor. It already has 2 batters into the game. You got to anchor the papers down in the booth today, Mark. Here's the pitch, and that one a little bit low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, it's certainly a tough win. Anytime you come down to spring training, you're getting your normal routine as far as working out, but it's game conditions. Normally, you'd be able to pick the ball off the bat first time around in the outfield as it is difficult, but then you mix in the fact that it's windy like this. It makes it very difficult for an outfielder.
Enright with a long look at second base, now delivers, and Smith cuts at that one and fouls it off on the left side, back and out of play. The Angels had a split squad day yesterday. One of the games here, we had that broadcast of the Cubs game, and the Angels dropped that game 11-2, and then in the game in Scottsdale against the Giants, the Angels were beaten in that one 4-1. The A's played in Maryvale yesterday against the Milwaukee Brewers, and they were beaten 2-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Smith. Enright, a slow worker, delivers, and that pitch is low. Good block on it by Carlin, the catcher. And the count even, it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And what you see a lot in spring training games, especially in the beginning part, you'll see a pitcher looking back. There may be a pickoff sign being put on by either the shortstop or second base. It's all about timing. And this Oakland club, not like old Oakland clubs, they will steal a lot of base. We saw that last year. They're more aggressive, so you have to keep an eye on the middle infielders if you're a pitcher right now to pick up a potential pickoff at second.
Waiting on deck for Oakland is Cespedes, the cleanup batter. Here's the next pitch on Smith, and he lifts one in the air in the right field. Going back on it is Cole Calhoun on the warning track. Jumps up, can't make the catch. The ball smacks off the wall. Getting a late start was Young. He will still be waved home. Here comes the relay. It's going to be wide. He'll score. And at second base with an RBI double is Seth Smith. It's 2-0 Oakland. Calhoun went all the way back to the wall out there in right field. It's actually the little cutout area where the Angels relievers can watch the action from the bullpen area behind the wall in right field, and that one smacked off the wall. The runner, Chris Young, at second base, wasn't sure whether or not the ball would be caught, so that's why he didn't get a good jump, but still scored easily as it turned out. And Oakland up and running. They've already scored more runs here in the first inning than they did all day yesterday.
Yeah, and again, it comes back to the fact this is getting the reads off the bat for an outfielder, even an infielder right now. It's so different than it is in practice. It's all about getting those repetitions. Even you talk about at bats, but it's also defensively too. And that ball, the way it's carrying today, it's very difficult for them to get back and make a play.
3 straight hits for the A's to start off this game. Cespedes the batter. Enright just bluffed a pickoff toss to second. Smith back in plenty of time there. No throw. And here is Cespedes, who last year as a rookie hit .292. 23 homers, 82 runs batted in. He had 16 stolen bases, and he takes the first pitch low and away for ball to count 1 ball, no strikes.
Cespedes with a lot of power, too. Prefers pitches on the inner half of the plate. Generally, you try to get ahead and try to make him swing at breaking pitches out of the zone, but he was a lot more patient as the season progressed last year.
One thing scouts talk about Cespedes, the tremendous bat speed. Here's the pitch, and he takes that one for a called strike.
And when you hear about that as a pitcher, bat speed, it makes you leery about trying to go fastball inside. If you're going to go inside, it has to be for a purpose. Because if you miss in with somebody with great bat speed, like a Gary Sheffield, it's going to be hit out of the ballpark.
Enright is ready. A couple peeks at second base, and the 1-1 pitch. Cespedes takes that one low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cespedes was a clutch performer for the A's last season. He was terrific last year with runners in scoring position. Hit nearly .350 last year in those situations. And he did all of that without ever playing a game in the minors, from Cuba to the big leagues. The pitch, that's low and outside. So now it's 3 balls, 1 strike.
And that's the thing, when you don't have those reps in the minor leagues, you wonder if you're going to be selective enough at the major league level as far as swinging at pitchers' pitches. And he made a good adjustment as the year progressed. He missed some time with some injuries here and there, but overall, if it wasn't for a man named Mike Trout, he probably wins the American League Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. He was in the discussion, although Trout, a unanimous choice last year for that award. Here's the 3-1 pitch, and he takes it. That one missed outside, so he draws a walk. Still no outs in the inning. Runners at first and second. And Jed Lowrie will be the batter. Lowrie, former Boston Red Sox, former Houston Astro. He came over from the Astros this offseason. Going to have a meeting at the mound right now as Enright is off to a slow start. He's yet to retire any of the first 4 that he's faced today.
You know, we had the discussion about the win, but as a pitcher, you can't have that even creep into your mind whatsoever. You got to pitch the way you can pitch. And when Barry, he's going to be successful with his sinker down, his slider down in the zone. Anything up, elevate it, straightens up, and that's when the guys have got some pretty good swings. So Mike Butch is going out right now to say, hey, listen, work the ball down, utilize your infield defense, get a ground ball, see if you get 2 out for 1 swing to the bat.
So the meeting wraps up, and Lowrie gets ready to step in. Lowrie last year hit .244 with the Astros. That's 16 homers. He was bothered by a leg injury last season and played in only 97 games. Here's the pitch. He goes after the first one and fouls it off on the left side, backing out of play. Terry Smith, Mark Gubicza with you from Tempe. The Angels taking on their division foes, the Oakland A's.
When you think about coming into last season, who would ever thought the Oakland A's and the Baltimore Orioles would have both been in the postseason, considering where they were the year before?
All right. Here's the next pitch on Lowrie, and that one is low and inside. Count even. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the one thing about those 2 teams you mentioned, the Orioles and the A's, they're not going to creep up on people this year. So no surprises this season.
Yeah, but I think when you have a season like they both had last year, there's going to be that confidence level is going to be up. They're so used to losing games. All of a sudden, when you start winning, you hit that feel that every game you have a chance to win. It's going to help both out. And it's going to make this AL West a very fun division to be able to watch with the Angels, Rangers, A's. The Mariners improved themselves, and now the Astros.
Here's the next pitch. Popped foul back behind the plate, and the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Angels around the infield defensively today. Efrain Navarro is playing first base. The second baseman is Brendan Harris. The Angels signed him in the offseason. Third baseman is Caleb Cowart. Saw him in yesterday's ball game a little bit. And playing shortstop today is Tommy Field. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Enright's next delivery. It's lifted foul down the left side, backing out of play. In the outfield today, the Angels have Vernon Wells out in left field. Matt Young is the center fielder. We saw Matt Long, another outfielder and a left-handed batter, play a little bit for the Angels. This is Matt Young, who's out there today. And Cole Calhoun is the right fielder. The Angels catcher is Luke Carlin. The DH is Mark Trumbo. And 26-year-old right-hander Barry Enright is on the mound. Enright got into 3 games for the Angels last year. And it's a pitch low and inside on Lowry. It's been a struggle here for Enright in the first inning. And at the rate things are going, I would think that it's probably going to be one and done as far as Enright today is. Doubtful we'll see him pitch a second inning. He has to get through the first inning to begin with. He's set. 2-2 is the count. And the next pitch, line down the right field side, but it drops foul. Lowry hit it hard, but a foul ball.
Well, Barry is trying to be more consistent in the strike zone. I think as a pitcher, especially early in spring, you're going to go 1 or 2 innings first time out. You're generally working on your fastball and command of your changeup. Your breaking ball comes along as the spring training progresses. But the bottom line is you want to throw as many first pitch strikes as possible, keep the ball down. And then as it goes along, that's when you start building up the arm strength to be able to snap your breaking ball.
Here's the next pitch, and on the 2-2, that one is low and outside, so now it is a full count. Umpires today, we have Gary Darling calling balls and strikes, and on the bases, Rob Drake, Jordan Baker, and Corey Blazer. Another nice crowd here today. Angels' second home game in the Cactus League. The Angels will be on the road against Seattle tomorrow. Here's a one hopper, hit the second, could be 2, flip to second, relay to first, a little late. Lowry avoids being doubled up on that ball that was hit to Brendan Harris, the second baseman. The Angels do get Cespedes at second, but only 1 out on the play, and runners at the corners for Scott Sizemore.
Yeah, that last little tricky hop and Harris backing up on, there was no way at that point you'd be able to turn to against Jay Lowry, who gets down the line very well and be able to avoid a double play. But again, that's what you want if you're Barry Enright. You want to get those ground balls, utilize your defense, keep them on their toes. Still can get that ground ball double play and get through the inning without any more damage.
So Sizemore stepping up, a right-handed batter. He bats with runners at first and third. Here's the pitch, and that one a little bit low and outside. Scott Sizemore missed all of last year. He had left knee surgery. That happened, well, right around this time a year ago. He tore the ACL and did not play in a single game for Oakland last season. He's trying to be their everyday second baseman this year. Jermiel Weeks also in the mix for that spot with the A's again this season. And the 1-0 pitch. That went in there for a called strike.
Some bullpen action now for the Angels. You mentioned, Jerry, that the bullpen would be getting up here. A lot of pitches thrown already for Barry Enright here in the first inning.
Derek Barton is waiting on deck. 1-1 to count, and the next pitch, and that one misses low and inside. We see the situation here, Mark, with runners at first and third. And in the past, you might see the pitcher out there on the mound try that little fake pickoff toss to third base to draw the runner off at first. That is no longer allowed. That is a balk if a pitcher does that starting this season.
I don't mind that being out of baseball, to be honest with you, although Steve Busby, former Royal, was the one that liked to use that move.
Here's a lazy fly ball lifted into right field. It looks deep enough to get the runner in from third. Tagging at third base and coming in to score on that sac fly will be Seth Smith. And the A's now have a 3-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. So give Sizemore a sac fly, run batted in. And Derek Barton will be the next batter.
For Sizemore, that's got to feel good coming back from what he came back. He mentioned what he went through last year to get back and get an opportunity to be able to be part of this lineup for Oakland. Be good at bat, trying to get something elevated, hits the ball in the air and gets the job done, getting a run across.
So Enright without number 2, but 3 runs have come across. And here is Barton set the bat. He was in only 46 games for the A's last season. Spent a lot of time in AAA, and the first pitch on the left-handed batter, he takes that one low. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Barton is a player who has been in and out of the mix at first base for the A's for quite some time now.
Always a good glove, just not consistent enough as far as the batting average. We'll see a lot of pitches, works the counts very well, hits good shots the other way. He's more of a left center field type hitter from the left side. More consistency as far as his batting average to be more of a more playing time for the A's.
Has not hit for much power in his big league career. Pickoff toss to first. Diving back to the bag goes Lowry. Barton a couple years ago led the American League in walks. Back in the 2010 season, he had 110 walks. Very patient hitter. But last year with the A's, only 8 extra base hits in the 46 games he appeared in. Here's the pitch. He takes that one on the outside part of the plate, called strike. 1-1 the count. Well, the Angels bat in the bottom of the first. Tommy Field, Vernon Wells, and Mark Trumbo will be the batters against Travis Blackley. Enright is ready. Okay is the sign. And here's the 1-1. Fouled off on the left side. Jammed on that pitch was Barton. So Enright has jumped in front. One of the rare times he's had a 1-2 count on a hitter here in the first inning. He's facing his 7th batter.
And that was located well, too. Fastball in on the hands of Barton, who tries to hit the ball the other way. So he prefers something down and away so he can hit the ball in the left field. So he took that away from him by going with fastball in.
He's ready on the next pitch. High with that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This top of the first inning has now taken 20 minutes.
He's trying to get used to the winds. That's what it is all about.
2-2 is the count on Barton. Enright delivers. And that one missed a little bit low and inside, so a full count. Enright has already walked a batter in the inning. Derek Norris, their catcher, would be up next if this first inning continues. It's 3-0 Oakland.
Well, just a lot of pitches thrown now. 35 pitches thrown from Enright. It's not what you want, especially your first time out, trying to impress. The velocity's there, location not. You want to get ahead of the count.
He has labored here in this first inning. The payoff delivery, it's bounced by the mound out near second and through into center field. With 2 outs on the move is Lowry. He will easily get to third base. And the inning continues with runners at the corners, and that's probably going to be it for Enright. Sure enough, Mike Scioscia is coming out, and we will have a pitching change. So Enright faced 7 batters. He retired only 2 of them. And he will leave with 2 runners on base. We have a break in the action. A pitching change coming up on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. face Barry Enright. Grube is in from the Angels minor league facility. Angels minor league players, a lot of them have yet to even report here to Tempe, but there are some here, and Grube is one of them. And Grube last season pitched at AAA Tacoma, and then after he signed with the Angels, he finished up last year at AA Arkansas. He's been in the Rockies organization in the past. He was in the Seattle organization for a time last year. And he's been around. He is a 32-year-old right-hander. Big guy at 6'4", 220 pounds. Been playing professionally since 2004 and has never appeared in a regular season game in the majors. He's pitched quite a bit in AAA in the past. So Grube will take the mound for the Angels, and the batter he faces is Derek Norris, the A's catcher, right-handed hitter, and the first pitch from Grube, that's right in there for a called strike.
That's a good sign, being aggressive, trying to make that impression. Tough spot to come in, first and third with 2 outs, especially with a team swinging the bat well here in the top of the first inning, so Mike Scioscia's got to be happy about that.
Grube is set, okays the sign, and here's the next pitch. He catches the outside corner with that one, kind of was slinging that pitch in there for a called strike. It's 0-2.
Nice little tight sliders, outside part of the plate, first pitch fastball, inner part of the plate, so he's got both sides of the plates covered here. Now can afford to expand the strike zone and get through this inning.
Grube spells his last name G-R-U-B-E, first name Jarrett. And the pitch, check swing, another slider looked like, and that one a little bit low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Enright, the starter, worked 2/3 of an inning. He gave up 4 hits. Right now, 3 runs all earned. He walked a batter, did not strike out any. And the 2 runners on base, the property of Barry Enright. Grube in front here on Norris, and the 1-2 delivery. He was jammed on that one, and that ball hit off his bat and ends up bouncing up the first base side. It's a fair ball, and he will be out. Grube might have came in so inside on that one that it could have gotten a little bit of the hand of the batter as well, but the ball ended up going in fair ground, and the inning is over, and that'll do it for Oakland. In the inning, they do get 3 runs. They did have 4 hits, no errors. They leave a pair. After a half inning, 3-0 Oakland on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. authority of Angels baseball, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels baseball. Terry Smith along with Mark Gubicza with you here in Tempe. At the top of the first inning, almost a half an hour, 27 minutes. We'll see if the Angels can have a half-hour bottom of the first inning and get some runs on the board here.
As long as they can score some runs, the Angels, we can take that 27-minute again.
Yep. They're a little harder to take when it's the opposition doing it.
There's no question.
So the batter is Tommy Field, who's playing shortstop for the Angels. He'll lead things off, and the first pitch from Blackley, the left-hander. It's taken for ball one. The count, 1 ball, no strikes. Field last year played in just a couple of games for the Colorado Rockies, and played most of last year at Colorado Springs, their AAA club. The Angels claimed him off the waiver wire this offseason, actually from the Minnesota Twins. They had put a claim in earlier in the offseason and signed him, and then they put him on waivers, and the Angels claimed him from Minnesota. There's the pitch. It's high and outside, and the count, 2 balls, 1 strike.
And Blackley, if you notice, when you're watching on TV here during the game, starting from the stretch position. Since you don't see that many times from a starting pitcher, you usually go out for the full windup. He's out of the stretch position already.
There's a pitch that's in there for a called strike. Field, a player who, even though he's a little guy, 5'9", he's hit 40 home runs in the minors over the last 3 years, and he swings at that pitch and fouls it back behind the plate. A couple strikes on him now. He can play shortstop. That's where he's playing today. He can play some second base. He's played some outfield in the past. He reminds scouts of Jamie Carroll, kind of built along the same lines of Jamie Carroll. And the next delivery, he bounces it by the mound and threw into center field. So a good at bat for Tommy Field, a leadoff single to start off the Angels' first inning. And Vernon Wells will be the next batter.
Yeah, Terry, that's a good comparison. Jamie Carroll, another contact hitter, very difficult to strike out. Put the ball in play, force the defense to make a play. Sometimes you get a base hit like he did there.
So here's Wells, who hit .230 last year for the Angels. 11 homers. He drove in 29 runs. Vernon had the day off yesterday, did not play in either of the split squad games for the Angels. Right-handed batter. Blackley's pitch, and that one is outside. Travis Blackley, the A's starter today, a native of Australia. And he's been in the majors in the past, but last season got back to the majors when he made the Giants club. He was with San Francisco at the beginning of last year. There's the pitch, and that one is cut on and missed by Vernon. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. When Blackley made the Giants last spring, it was the first time he had pitched in the big leagues since 2007. And when he ended up winning a game last June, when the A's eventually got him off of waivers from the Giants, it was his first big league win in nearly 8 years. He had to wait a long time between wins, and there's a pickoff toss to first, and he just picked off Field.
He has a tremendous pickoff move. Like we've seen a number of left-handed pitchers for the A's over the years. Very good pickoff moves, patience, and then the throw over the first base. Able to get Tommy leaning towards second.
So Field is picked off. And that's out number 1 here in the Angels' first inning. Blackley is ready, and here comes the next pitch. Popped up foul on the right side, backing out of play.
You know, Vernon during the offseason really worked on trying to get that swing back, hitting the ball the other way, driving the ball to right center field. He had tremendous power and good power numbers in Toronto, hitting the ball that way instead of becoming more pull happy as a member of the Angels. You can see even in that approach, he's trying to drive the ball the other way because he does have good power, and it's a perfect day to try to utilize that power the other way.
Wind's been blowing out, gusting out to right center field. Here's the pitch. That's high and away. It misses for a ball.
And a big way to be able to do that, you have to let the ball travel a little bit deeper in the strike zone to be able to let your hands get through the ball and hit it the other way.
Mark Trumbo is waiting on deck. Bottom of the first inning, 3-0 Oakland. Here's the pitch, and that one misses in on Vernon Wells. So a story here today, Mark. Curtis Granderson of the Yankees fractured his right forearm. He is going to be out for 10 weeks.
Well, the Yankees are dealing with some issues.
They sure
Alex
are.
Rodriguez may not be available till at least the All-Star break, if then, for the Yankees. And Derek Jeter coming back from that broken ankle in the postseason.
Granderson got hit by a pitch in the Yankees' first Cactus League game, his first at bat. There's a bouncing ball hit the short. Good diving stop by the shortstop Lowry. The throw a little bit late. Vernon is on. He has an infield hit. Lowry did a good job to get to it, but he had to dive and then get up and try and get out Wells. And Vernon has a single, and Mark Trumbo will be the next batter.
It's good to see that. Vernon, again, the approach up the middle the other way, gets an infield base hit, gets rewarded for that approach, allowing the baseball to travel a little bit further in the strike zone.
So here's Trumbo. Saw Mark Trumbo in the game here yesterday. He had a couple of at-bats, hit the ball to shortstop both times, one in the air and one on the ground. And he was playing first base for the Angels. The Angels had only 6 hits in that game yesterday here against the Cubs. And after scoring a couple of first-inning runs yesterday, the Angels saw the Cubs reel off the next 11. Here's the pitch on Trumbo. Takes it on the outside corner, a called strike.
Remember this time last year in spring training, with all the talk was Mark making that adjustment to playing third base, taking ground ball after ground ball at third base. Now I can see him to DH, first base, occasionally play some outfield. When you think about it, all those positions he was playing early in the year still put up all-star numbers. Even part of the season was outstanding.
Next pitch on Trumbo. He takes that one. It's outside. It misses for a ball. Yeah, there has been no discussion whatsoever of any Trumbo third base possibilities this spring. That just didn't pan out, and no knock on Mark Trumbo. He gave it everything he had. Just a very difficult thing to ask a player to change positions, especially an infield position at the major league level. It's very difficult.
Especially third base when you think about it. Everyone, people think you can play first base or third base if you're a big, strong guy. You still have to have that ability to come in on the bunts, the slow rollers down the third base line, still have that feel and release to be able to turn a 5-4-3 double plays. It's not that easy.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Next one on Trumbo. He takes that breaking ball, misses outside. Blackley, who is starting this game, he did make a few starts last season. In fact, 15 of them. But in the scheme of things for Oakland, he figures to be a reliever for them. They seem to be in pretty good shape as far as their rotation. Maybe the one spot in their rotation, which probably is the number 5 spot, as Trumbo tips that one foul. They hope to have Bartolo Colon in that role, and you just never know about Bartolo coming back. He had the suspension last year.
I think Bob Melvin did a very good job as far as handling his young staff too. He knew when to avoid having those young starting pitchers throw too many pitches. He has a very deep, strong bullpen that allows those starting pitchers to only stay around that 90 to 100 pitch mark and still be strong at the end of the season. That's why the success rate was there for him.
Here's the 2-2 on Trumbo, and that one misses low. So it's a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Blackley is facing his third batter. He's yet to retire a hitter, although the Angels do have an out here in the first inning. Field was picked off of first base, but the first 2 batters for the Angels, Field and Wells, have had hits, and Trumbo now has worked a full count against Travis Blackley. Infield is playing it at double play depth. The outfield shading Trumbo a little bit the opposite way. See what gives on the 3-2. A pickoff toss to first, and Vernon had a dive back to the bag. He had a pretty good sized lead over there at first base.
That's a pretty tough move, too, to be able to read if you're a base runner. You're almost at the position where you just got to go first movement. That's very close to crossing that rubber, which would be a balk. When you cross that pitching rubber, that means you have to go home. He's right at the borderline of that, so that makes it difficult for a runner to get a read.
Next delivery, a little poke into right field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Wells will move up to second and have to stop there. Trumbo is on with a single. First 3 Angels all with base hits here in this bottom of the first inning, and Cole Calhoun will be the next batter.
Well, the A's first 3 batters, base hits. The Angels first 3 batters, base hits. And usually at this time of year, you always think that the pitcher has the advantage.
Right.
Because it's all about timing as a hitter. You're just trying to look for a fastball and make good contact, because you're not going to hit a changeup. You're not going to hit a break ball generally until you get the read of the baseball as the spring training progresses.
So Cole Calhoun will step to the plate. Calhoun was one of the big surprises this time a year ago. He had a terrific spring for the Angels, and certainly opened up some eyes. And even though he began the year in the minors, got called up to the Angels last season, and he's bidding for a reserve outfield spot for the club this spring. Takes the first pitch for a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, I asked Mike Scioscia to describe him last year during the year, and he said he's a ball player. Everything he does, he plays the game right. Hits the ball hard, plays good defense, runs aggressively, has a strong arm from the outfield.
Next pitch, he fouls that one back behind the plate, not too far away from Brendan Harris waiting on deck. The thing that really impressed us last year in spring training, watching Calhoun, was how he battled left-handers. And he faces one, ironically, his first time up here in this ball game for the Angels.
Big thing, if you're a left-handed batter against a lefty pitcher, if you can stay back and hit the ball the other way, you can be successful. If you think in terms of pulling the baseball, you're going to struggle.
Here's the next one on Calhoun. He takes that one low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. In 21 games with the Angels last year, Calhoun hit only 174. He's a career 309 hitter in the minors. He's the tying run at the plate. 3-0 Oakland. We're in the bottom of the first here in Tempe. Blackley with a long pause delivers, and Calhoun fouls that one off over near the Angels on deck circle. And already the pitch is mounting on Blackley here in the bottom of the first inning. The fans are going to get their money's worth today here in Tempe. They have to brave the cool weather, though. So we'll see if they stick around as we get deeper into this ball game. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and Calhoun trying to hold up on that one, went around, struck him out. So that's out number 2, and Brendan Harris will be the next batter.
Pretty tough breaking pitch, especially a left-handed batter against that tough breaking ball away from a left-handed pitcher. Very difficult to make contact with. Gets a swing and miss.
So Brendan Harris getting ready to bat. Harris hit .317 last year in AAA. And he has played in the big leagues in the past for the Nationals. He was with the Rays. He's played a little bit for the Twins. And he is taking the first pitch here for a strike. 0-1 the count.
He's always had pretty good power, too. He can turn on the ball, hit the ball out to left field, left center field. He's looking for a pitch right now in the inner half of the plate, see if he can do some damage.
It's a non-roster player bidding for a backup infield spot with the Angels. There go the runners. The pitch is low. The throw to third, not in time. It's a double steal. So Wells and Trumbo each stealing bases here to put runners at second and third, and Vernon got a good jump.
And Mike Scioscia has always been allowing his runners to be aggressive. So most times you think, okay, you don't want to be the third out at third base, but if you get a good read, you have confidence in your base runners. If they get a good jump, why not get to third base? Now you've taken away that potential hard breaking ball in the dirt.
Base hit here could get the Angels right back in this first inning. And the pitch, that one is cut on and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brendan Harris. Harris can play pretty much any of the 4 infield spots and has done it in the past. Yes, for time, steps out of the batter's box. This would figure to be a tailor-made type of day for Brendan Harris. He has good opposite field power, and that wind has been blowing out the opposite way for a right-handed batter to right center. Here's the 2-strike delivery and a breaking ball. That one is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The A's are already getting action in their bullpen right now. They have a right-hander just starting to loosen up. Two outs, 2 on. And the count 2-2 on Harris. Here's the next pitch. He pops it into right center field. That ball carrying and jumping up and making the grab on it is Chris Young to rob Harris of extra bases and a couple of RBIs. He hit it the opposite way, but Young with a fine defensive play out there in right center. The inning is over. For the Angels here in the bottom of the first, no runs, 3 hits, no errors, 2 runners left. A long first inning is over in Tempe. We head to the second. It's 3-0 Oakland on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West.
Only
Second inning we go, 3-0 Oakland. And at the plate is Adam Rosales, and the first pitch, he takes that one low for ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. It'll be Rosales, Crisp, and Young. 9 1 and 2 batters for the A's. Here's the next pitch from Grube, and that one is the pitch that misses ball 2. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
That was a nice play at the end of the inning by Chris Young. When you think about both teams, looks like their starting outfielders will have a lot of speed. Basically all have been center fielders at one point or another.
Yeah. There's the next delivery, and that one is a bit outside, and the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. Well, in the first inning, we saw Oakland send 8 batters to the plate. The Angels sent 5 to the plate, and it took a fine play by Chris Young to rob Harris. And on the 3-0 delivery, that one is outside, and Rosales is on with a leadoff walk. Grube got the final out last inning against Norris, but he watched the leadoff man to start off the second, and the top of the batting order now for Oakland, Coco Crisp will step up. Crisp, switch hitter, batting from the left side. Caleb Cowart, the Angels' third baseman, is playing in a bit, guarding against a possible bunt by Crisp, who takes that pitch for a called strike. 0-1 the count.
I mean, Coco's not afraid to bunt, sacrifice or bunt for a hit. Very good as far as either pushing down the third base line or bringing that baseball down with him down the first base line.
Here's the next pitch from Grood, and that's in there for a called strike, so he moves in front. It's 0-2. Coco Crisp, now 33 years old. See Michael Taylor waiting on deck, and it looks like he'll pinch hit for Chris Young. Next delivery on Crisp, fly ball lifted into shallow left center field. Vernon Wells comes over, calls off Matt Young, the Angels center fielder, makes the grab, and that'll be out number 1. So not sure, Mark, whether Chris Young might have hurt himself making that catch out there in right field, but Michael Taylor's going to pinch hit for him right now.
Yeah, it's unusual to only play one inning. You'll see that occasionally with pitchers, or towards the end, just let a guy get one at bat and then move forward. But he had to really extend to be able to make that play in the outfield.
So here is Michael Taylor getting ready to bat. Right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch on Taylor, and that one is in there for a called strike. Let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network. Jerry Smith, Mark Gubicza with you from Tempe. Pickoff toss over to first base. Diving back to the bag goes Rosales. It's Michael Taylor who's batting for Oakland. He's a big fella, 6'5", 255-pounder. Went to Stanford. He was in 6 games for the A's last year, hit just 143. And the pitch, that one is a pitch that misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Taylor had kind of an odd thing happen to him with the A's. He hit a line drive into right field in a ball game. Ball fell in, dropped in front of the right fielder, and the right fielder threw the ball to first base and threw him out at first base. A 9-3 putout. You don't see that happen too often.
Not against a position player, maybe a pitcher on occasion in the National League, but no, you don't see that often.
It was only the 5th time that it had happened in an American League game in almost 40 years. And the batter, even though he had the ball dropped in for what appeared to be a hit, he didn't get credit for the hit because they threw him out at first base. The throw was there before Taylor running to first base got there. The toss again over to first base. Back to the bag goes Rosales.
Remember over the years, Vlad Guerrero used to like to try to throw that to first base to try to get someone going down the line on the base hit.
Right.
Especially if it's hit well to him in right field.
2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and a cut and a miss. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you'll see a batter round first base, and then the right fielder throws the ball behind them, and they get him out rounding the bag. In the case of Taylor, he hit the ball so hard, it dropped in front of the right fielder, and he threw him out before he even got to first base.
And the way he hits the ball, he was probably playing pretty deep out there also to be able to make that long throw into first base.
Yep. You know your luck's not running good when they do that to you. There's a pitch outside. It misses on Taylor. And the count full. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Seth Smith waiting on deck. We're in the 2nd inning, and it's 3-0 Oakland.
Probably see Rosales going, potential strike him out, throw him out here.
Grube is ready, and now he will toss again over to first base. Angels playing their 3rd Cactus League game, and we will not begin to see any of the regular Angels starting pitchers appear in a Cactus League game until March 1st. There's a pitch on the outside corner. It's a called third strike. Snap throw to first base, but the runner Rosales dives back. But the pinch hitter Taylor is out looking, and that's the second out.
McGrew with a great spot. That fastball hits the outside part of the plate. A quick throw down to first base. Get Rosales going a little bit too far, trying that secondary lead. Good quick throw by Carlin.
So with 2 outs, Smith will be the batter. When Jared Weaver pitches for the Angels on March 1st, that'll be this Friday. And then we'll start to see the Angels starting pitchers, the members of the rotation, the probable rotation, all begin to take their turns here in the Cactus League. Tomorrow, when the Angels play the Mariners, Garrett Richards will pitch. A.J. Schugel will pitch Tuesday when the Angels take on the Diamondbacks. That game will be back here in Tempe. And Nick Miranda is slated to pitch Wednesday's game. It's going to be against the Giants here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. 1-0 delivery. That one on Smith. He takes it's in there for a called strike.
To watch the pitchers do their fielding drills out here on the big field today before the game, before they took batting practice. All the pitchers involved, whether it was starters or bullpen guys, working on the pickoff moves with the middle infielders, with Howie available, and seeing if they get the timing down, which is so important when these days you have in spring training.
1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch is low and outside. 2-1. As far as the Angels position players, the regular position players, they're going to start being sprinkled into the lineup in the next few days, and probably by Wednesday we'll see all the regular position players except for Albert Pujols see game action for the Halos. So that's right around the corner. I think Chris Iannetta is going to see his first action for the Angels tomorrow, likely DH, and then on Tuesday, I believe Howie Kendrick's going to be in the lineup. We could see a couple more of the regulars in the lineup. And then Wednesday, the rest of them, with the exception of Pujols, should start factoring into the Angels starting lineup.
Yeah, they love to get out there and start playing some games. There's so many at-bats in batting practice off the coaching staff or even the pitching staff throwing batting practice to you. You just want to get that live feel for the game, start reading the spin of the baseball. Start getting your legs working. This game action, there's nothing better than that, getting that game action. But I can understand where Mike Scioscia's coming from. There's so many days here in spring training because of World Baseball Classic. You want to make sure everyone's fine-tuned. You mentioned Curtis Granderson down with the Yankees. You just want to make sure these guys are all healthy come opening day as much as possible.
Yeah. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3-0 Oakland here in the second. Next delivery, and that one is swung on and missed. He got him, struck him out. So Groove does a nice job. Couple of strikeouts here in the inning, and his day is likely over as he retires 3 out of 4 here in the second. No runs, hits, or errors. A walk, they leave a runner on. Bottom of the second is coming up. It's 3-0 Oakland on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Here in the bottom of the second inning, Caleb Cowart will lead things off for the Angels. New pitcher in the game for the A's is Brian Gordon. At one time, he was an outfielder in the Angels organization. We'll talk about him in just a moment. And the new right fielder for Oakland is Michael Taylor. He came in to pinch hit for Chris Young. He stays in the game and replaces him in right. Cowart will lead it off for the Angels. Switch hitting third baseman. We saw him in action here yesterday. Had a couple of at-bats. Caleb Cowart batting from the left side against Gordon, and the pitch, that one is in there for a called strike. Cowart had a hit yesterday and is 2 times up against the Cubs.
Certainly a big-time prospect. Good hands at third base, switch hitter, power. Looks like a third baseman, the old school third baseman.
0-2 now the count on Caleb Cowart. And he's only 20 years old. Angels signed him, first-round pick right out of high school. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that one misses a little bit low. Brian Gordon pitched in Korea, in South Korea last year. And he has pitched in the majors for the Rangers and the Yankees. I mentioned earlier in his pro career, he was in the Angels organization. He was an outfielder. He converted to pitching. He hit over 100 home runs in the minors. Played a long time as an outfielder in minor league baseball, and he misses with that one. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. He's with the A's, trying to win a spot with them as a non-roster player, signed a minor league deal.
Because you see that transition from an outfielder position player to a pitcher. Dave Stieb did that for Toronto. Had a fantastic career on the mound. Started out as a position player.
Yeah. So Cowart waits out a walk. Good patience there against Gordon, and he's on to start the inning off. Angels have a base runner. Efren Navarro will be the next batter.
I know Troy Percival did the same thing. Started as a catcher.
Right.
It's a dominant closer.
And the guy that really kind of planted the seed as far as Gordon to switch to pitching was Nolan Ryan when Gordon went over to the Rangers organization, and it was at Ryan's insistence a number of years back that he decided to take a different career path, and it did get him to the big leagues. He did pitch for Texas, and I mentioned he spent a little bit of time in New York with the Yankees. 0-1 is the count on Efren Navarro. Left-handed batter. There goes Cowart, and the pitch grounded on the right side. Good stop by Sizemore, the second baseman, and he will throw out Navarro at first. Cowart moves up to second. Boy, Sizemore was starting to break to cover second base, and then he had a jam on the brakes and to twist his body back towards first to dive and stop that. He made a nice play. So a 4-3 ground out, and Matt Young will be the next batter.
So some versatility, be able to play second, play some third base. Pretty good range there. That's a tough play, especially when you're going to cover to the base, to be able to stop and then to react, especially coming back from that knee problem from the year before.
So Matt Young will get ready to bat. Left-handed hitter, and the first pitch on him, that one misses outside for ball. Young spent time at AAA last year in the Tigers and Cardinals organizations, and did appear in 5 games for Detroit. He had 1 hit with the Tigers last year. Drove in a run. Takes that pitch low. 2 balls and no strikes. Matt Young's one of those kind of guys, Mark. He's had to really persevere over 950 games in the minors, and very limited major league action. Trying to open up some eyes in the Angels camp here this spring. A non-roster invitee. Takes that one for a ball.
You want to keep that dream alive as long as possible. You have the love for the game. You're willing to work hard, whatever it takes to get to that major league level, and hopefully when you get there, stay there. That's the big thing. You want to stay there. You don't want to just go there for a few at-bats, few games. You want to be staying there and end up having a long career.
Here's the next pitch, and Young takes that one, and he's worked the count to 3 balls and 1 strike against Brian Gordon. Gordon has already walked 1 in the inning. Angels are batting here in the bottom of the 2nd. This ball game is already an hour old, and it's 3-0 Oakland. A chilly day today here in Tempe. Here's the next pitch. He bounces one by the mound. It'll get the runner over to third. Stopped by Lowry, the shortstop. He will throw out Young. And on the 6-3 ground out, 2 are gone. Luke Carlin will be the next batter. Carlin saw some action here in Tempe yesterday against the Cubs.
How about one position that really gets worked hard in spring training? That's that catching position. A lot of bullpens you have to catch. Game conditions you're going to be involved in also, but so much reps. And then when you have a manager, a former catcher, he always has you working on drills.
Carlin, a switch hitter. And the first pitch, taking it for a ball. We count 1-0. The ball skipped away from Norris just a bit, but quickly recovered. No advancement by Cowart, the Angel runner over at third base. 1 ball, no strikes, the count.
They did a nice job at least keeping the ball getting from too far away. So when you have spin on the breaking ball, very difficult for a catcher to keep it straight in front of him. But as long as you get a good piece of your body, you can keep it from getting too far away. The base runner will be able to come in and score.
Here's the next pitch, and Carlin checks. That one's in there. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. The fans here today in Tempe are bundled up. The 1-1 delivery. A bouncer hit the third. Stopped there by Rosales. Gets up, throws high, and the throw takes the first baseman Barton off the bag, and the Angels will get a run. So the Angels keep the inning alive, and that was a good stop by Rosales, but he had to hurry the throw, and it sailed on him. It forced Barton to come off the bag, and the Angels get their first run in the ball game. It's now 3-1.
Carlin got down the line pretty good, too. For a catcher, really runs well.
They're going to score an error on Rosales for the high throw. No run batted in, but the Angels do get their first run, and the inning continues. Tommy Field, the leadoff man, batter. He singled his first time up. Checks the swing there, and the pitch a little bit high. It's 1 ball, no strikes. So the Angels have manufactured a run in this inning. No hits in the inning, but the first halo run. Walk and an error factoring in. Next pitch on Field. He takes that one high. 2-0 the count. Infield is back. The outfield not too deep, and they shade Tommy Field the opposite way. He bounces this one on the third base side, out of the reach of Rosales. Stopped by Lowry, the shortstop, fires to second, and they get the out on the force on Carlin, and the inning is over. So the inning ends on the 6-4 fielder's choice. Ball get by the third baseman, but Lowry showing some range, backing up to make the out. 1 run in the inning, no hits, 1 error, 1 walk, and 1 left. After 2, it's 3-1 Oakland on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget the 2013 Cactus League is here. Enjoy Angels baseball here in Tempe as low as $10 per seat. Log on to angels.com/spring or visit the Tempe Diablo Stadium box office to purchase your tickets today. Jerry Smith and Mark Gubasaw, along with our producer-engineer Darren Chan, with you for Sunday afternoon baseball from the Valley, where it's sunny but cold. And we get ready to move to the third inning. It's 3-1 Oakland. The A's have 3 runs on 4 hits. The Angels 1 run on 3 hits. And Cespedes, their cleanup batter, will lead things off. Alcides Cespedes walked his first time up. Angels have a new pitcher. Bobby Casava is the new pitcher. He replaces Jared Grube, who worked an inning in the third. Grube did not allow any hits or runs. Walked the batter, struck out a pair. Had a nice outing for the Angels today, up from minor league camp. And Cespedes takes ball 1 from Casava. The count 1 ball, no strikes.
Pretty good challenge right away for Casava going against Cespedes. Trying to command his breaking pitch too. Needed against him.
And the next delivery, that one, a pitch low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Casava was with the Angels briefly last season, 4 games, and he actually won a game for the Angels last year, but his ERA was over 7. Next delivery bounced on the third base side, right at Cowart. His throw right on the money to first baseman Navarro, and Cespedes an easy out, 1 away. Jed Lowry will be the next batter. Bobby Casava has been bothered in recent seasons by right shoulder problems. He had some issues last season with some inflammation. The year before, more right shoulder inflammation. And when Casava eventually went back down to the minors last year, he struggled. His ERA last year was 5.79. He's trying to reestablish himself a bit. He was closing some games last year at AAA Salt Lake. But the numbers were not too promising last year. Here's the 1-0 on Lowry. That one is high and away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
I mean, it's pretty surprising too, Terry, because his fastball moves so much. I think if he trusts his fastball more, starts at middle part of the plate and then works it on the corners, be more successful. But when you try to throw that fastball with that movement starting on the corner, it's never going to be in the strike zone, and hitters just lay off the pitch.
And there's one that's way high and outside. He falls behind. It's now 3-0. Casava a few seasons ago was actually taken by the A's in a Rule 5 pick from the Angels, and then later returned. Here's the 3-0. And he walks him on 4 pitches. That was low and outside, nowhere close. Lowry has a 1-out walk. Scott Sizemore will be the next batter. Some of the other pitchers the Angels have on the board today. Some minor league pitchers. Buddy Boschers. Kevin Johnson is on the board for the Angels today. Austin Wood. Manny Correa. Andrew Taylor is on the board. We saw him briefly with the Angels last season. Daniel Tillman is also listed to possibly see some action. 1 ball, no strikes. And there's a toss over to first base. Diving back to the bag goes the base runner Lowry. And the other pitcher who we'll likely see today for the Angels, Mark, is Kobayashi, who saw him throw to some hitters the other day. He was pretty impressive. We'll see how he looks in his first Cactus League game for the Angels if he does get in today. Casava just missed high, and that brings the catcher Luke Harlan out to the mound to try and settle him down. He's been a bit off with his command here in this third inning, his first inning of work for the Angels.
And he gets that first out on the ground ball. Next thing you know, you look up, he's throwing 6 pitches out of the zone from that point forward. Again, trust in your ability to get people out, especially with that sinking fastball. Make him hit the ball on the ground.
There's the 2-0, and he's up and in, ball 3. It's 3 balls and no strikes.
What a manager looks for and a pitching coach looks for out of pitchers, whether you're young or been up at the big league level, is your pace and your command of the strike zone. That's the important thing right now.
The 3-0 pitch, and that one is way up and in. It pops off the mid of the catcher Carlin, but being able to take second base is the base runner Lowry. Sizemore is on with a walk, back-to-back walks, and Derek Barton will be the next batter. And that's going to bring Mike Butcher out to have a word with Bobby Cassava. As they meet out there, we want to remind Angel fans the annual Angels 5K and Fun Run will take place on March the 30th. Participants will run a course through the Big A and receive a commemorative shirt and a ticket to watch the Halos take on the Dodgers that evening. For more information and to sign up, visit angels.com/5K. Proceeds from the event will benefit the Angels Baseball Foundation.
You're going to do that run, Terry, before the game?
Well, I'm in pretty good shape right now. I might be able to handle a 5K. I don't know that I can handle much more than that. But
I like it.
I'll have to see what other duties I have scheduled that day.
Yeah, you look great, man. You're ready to run.
Ready to rock and roll. Derek Barton is the batter. The meeting at the mound is over, and Cassava in trouble. 2 on, 1 out. He delivers on the lefty swinger, and the pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. He's got 3 in the first inning. The Angels' only run so far coming last inning in the second. Here's Cassava's next delivery. That's a liner. It's going to fall into shallow left field for a base hit, and that will load up the bases. Once he got to third, Lowry is stopped there. But 3 stray batters have now reached base safely with 1 out. Barton gets his second hit of the day, and the catcher Derek Norris will be the next batter.
And that approach for Barton again, looking to go the other way, looking for something down in the strike zone, out over the plate. And another good swing by him.
So here's Norris, who grounded out his first time up. Cassava would like to get Norris to hit a ball on the ground here, maybe get out of this trouble with a double play ball. Probably has a good power sinker, but it's just a matter of locating that pitch. You have the catcher batting, not a real fast runner. There's a pitch in there for a called strike, and the count 0-1. The A's here in the early going, they have had base runners galore. Here's the pitch. There's one bounced on the left side. Could be 2. Flip to second. Relay to first. It is an inning-ending double play. Just what the doctor ordered right there. The inning comes to an end on a 5-4-3 twin killing. For Oakland here in the inning, they threatened but failed to score. No runs. They had 1 hit, 2 walks, no errors, and they leave 2. They've already stranded 5. We go to the bottom of the third. Oakland leading the Angels 3-1 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. of the third inning here in Tempe. Angels getting ready to send up Vernon Wells, Mark Trumbo, and Cole Calhoun, trailing 3-1. Brian Gordon still pitching for the A's. And as Vernon Wells gets ready to bat, he's already had a hit today. He's 1 for 1 here in the early going, and he takes the first pitch inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Brian Gordon last year pitched for the Samsung Lions in the Korean baseball organization in South Korea. 1 ball, 1 strike the count on Vernon Wells. Here's the next pitch. And that was off speed. That one missed high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, Vernon really making a conscious effort to be able to keep his front hip tucked in long enough to be able to have that hands go through and drive the ball to right center field, not opening up that front hip. But when you do that, you're going to try to pull the ball more often.
Wells fouls the next pitch back behind the plate, and the count 2-2 on him.
Pretty good swing of that one, foul straight back. When you're on the mound and you throw a pitch and you see a hitter hit the ball straight back, that's not a comfortable feeling, because that means they're on top, they're ready, their timing's there, they just missed it.
Here's the 2-2 on Wells. That has his feet moving. It was low and inside, so it's a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The wind has died down just a little bit right now. Here's the next pitch. Vernon Wells smacks one deep down the left field side, tight to the line, but a foul ball. Got good wood on it, turned on that pitch and drilled it, but a foul ball.
You know, we're talking about bat speed earlier with Cespedes. Mike Scioscia has told us over the years that he loves the bat speed of Vernon Wells, but the bottom line, to be able to have that bat speed back, is you got to have the approach going the other way, and then when something's on the inner half, utilize that bat speed and turn on it.
Here's the 3-2, and Wells skies this one in the air into shallow left center field. The shortstop Lowry goes back and has the ball pop out of his glove. Vernon Wells will head for third base. He will get there without a throw. Boy, that ball was in the air forever, and Lowry camped under it and had the ball pop right out of his glove in shallow left center. So Wells is all the way at third base, and that'll be an error on the shortstop. Mark Trumbo will have a chance to drive in a run.
Well, right into the bottom part, heel the glove for Lowry, but you got to give Vernon Wells some credit. He's over third base on a pop-up just outside of the infield dirt.
Yeah.
Going hard all the way.
So here's Trumbo. Yeah, he could have very easily just been frustrated that he popped the ball up.
Especially a hittable pitch, too.
Yeah. And he ended up getting all the way to third without a throw. Here's Trumbo swinging at the first pitch. He lines it to Lowry, who holds on to that one a couple feet back on the outfield grass. So Trumbo, first ball swinging, retired on the liner. Wells holding at third, and here's Calhoun, who struck out his first time up. Left-handed hitting Cole Calhoun. A's play the infield back. And with 1 out now, the Angels figured to have the contact play on. Here's the first pitch on Calhoun. He takes that one. It's outside. It misses. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, the Angels do that as well as any team in baseball, the contact play. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, Mike Scioscia will get criticized for doing that, but they're successful so often because it's taught, even at the minor league level, how to be able to react on a ground ball in the infield with 1 out to be able to best utilize a chance to be able to score a run.
Angels have stolen a lot of runs in recent years with that contact play. 2-0 the count on Calhoun, who lines one the opposite way down the left field side. It's a fair ball. It'll bounce now in foul territory down the left field side. Wells has scored. Calhoun will round second and stop there with an RBI double. So the error in the inning costly. Angels get a run on the board. And the Angels' 2 runs have come thanks to errors by the Ainge. the A's. The Angels down by a run. It's 3-2.
Well, that's a perfect swing for Calhoun, just going with the pitch. Hit well down the other way, too, right inside the line in left field. He does have good power, line drive power.
So the batter now is Brendan Harris. Base hit could tie up the ball game. Here's the pitch on Harris. That one dusts him off the plate. Inside pitch misses for ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes. The hit by Calhoun, who's on at second base, the first hit that Gordon has given up, although Gordon has allowed 2 runs. Both have been unearned against them. Right-hander against right-hander. And here's the 1-0 pitch. Lifted in the air down the right field side. Long run for Michael Taylor. He is not going to get to it. Getting a late start at second was Calhoun, but he will still score. Going into second and heading for third is Harris. And the throw there is late. He is there with a triple. And it's a 3-3 ball game. Brendan Harris coming through as Calhoun ends up scoring easily from second base.
Well, Jim Everett's got to be real happy, the hitting coach for the Angels. These approach his last 2 at-bats the other way with authority. Double by Calhoun, triple by Harris, going the other way.
So the batter now is Cowart, and they've brought the infield in. Cowart trying to give the Angels the lead. He walked his first time up. That was leading off last inning. And here's the pitch on Caleb, and he swings and misses that one. Boy, Harris was way off the bag at third base. He had to dive back. He thought that maybe Norris was going to throw the ball to third after that first pitch to Caleb Cowart. No balls and 1 strike. 1 out. 2 in and a 3-3 ball game. Angels 3 runs, 5 hits. Likewise for the A's. Efren Navarro waiting on deck. Gordon's next pitch on Cowart. He takes that one for a ball.
And these are the adjustments you make as a young hitter in these spots. An RBI situation here at the major league level, as far as these games are here in spring training. Pitchers aren't going to throw a fastball down the middle part of the plate. If they throw a fastball, it's going to be off the plate of your hands, or they're going to throw something off speed. And Cowart chased that first off-speed pitch. No more patience, the second one.
Here's the next delivery, and it's lifted in the air in a shallow right center field. Coming in is the center fielder, Coco Crisp. He'll make the catch. Tagging at third base is Harris. The throw. He is safe. So on a sac fly into very shallow right center field, the Angels take a 4-3 lead.
Coco Crisp can cover a lot of ground in the outfield, but Dino Lee will be aggressive as far as the throwing arm of Crisp, and Harris is able to slide in and get that foot in on the base.
So the Angels on top for the first time today after falling behind 3-0 after a half inning. Halo is up 4-3. And here is Efren Navarro set for his second at-bat of the day. Left-handed batter takes that one low for a ball. One ball, no strikes to count on Navarro. 26 years old. Saw Navarro briefly with the Angels back in the 2011 season as he fouls that one back behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Navarro's from Linwood, and he attended the MLB Urban Youth Academy in Compton. He was the Angels minor league player of the year in 2011. Next pitch, he checks on that one, and that pitch is in there for a strike. 1-2 the count. Navarro is a very gifted defensive first baseman. He is a good glove man, a former 50th round pick of the Angels. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, he checks on it, and the pitch misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, we've got to see him play some first base over the last few seasons in spring training, a little bit up at the major league level. Great hands, quiet hands at first base, can turn that 3-6-3 double play very well.
Here's the 2-2 on Navarro. That's a little bit low, 3-2. Mike Scioscia has talked about Navarro in the past, saying he's a Gold Glove caliber first baseman. His problem has been trying to push some Angel players at that position. Angels have had some pretty good players at that spot recent years. There's a bouncing ball hit at first base, fielded by Barton. He'll solo to the bag, and the inning is over. But a good inning for the Angels here in the third. The Angels come up with 3 runs, and they did it with only 2 hits, 1 error in the inning, and nobody left. We've completed 3. We head to the 4th as we go there. 4-3 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Kids, don't forget the Junior Angels Kids Club presented by Farrell's Ice Cream Parlors and Restaurants is now accepting members for the 2013 season. Members receive an exclusive Mike Trout jersey, 2 ticket vouchers, a fast pass to Kids Run the Bases, and more. To sign up, visit angels.com/Junior Angels or any Southern California Farrell's location. Angels have made a couple of moves as we get ready to head to the top of the 4th inning. Scott Cousins will take over in left field for the Angels. Vernon Wells' day is over. And the Angels have a new pitcher, and it's Hiroyuki Kobayashi, who signed a minor league deal with the Angels not too long ago. Had a lot of success in Japan. And Kobayashi will get ready for his first action with the Halos here in the Cactus League.
Well, you were excited to see him, and you get to see him right away, Terry. Well, you called that 5-4-3 double play last inning, and you got this one. You're on fire already.
There we go. Mid-season form, Google.
Yes.
Yeah. So here's Kobayashi set to work, and Adam Rosales digging in. Here's the first pitch, and that one's right in there for a called strike. Kobayashi was a closer back in 2010 in Japan, and he had 29 saves that year. That was the only year that he did work as a closer. 75 wins for him in Japan. And the next pitch, that's low and outside. He'll throw a fastball, top out around 93. He has a good fork ball. That's his changeup. He'll throw a split finger fastball, and he has a slider. Had a 13-3 record in Japan back in 2007 with an ERA that year of 2.69. Here's the next pitch, and that one missed a little bit up and in for a ball. 2-1 to count. Here's the next pitch, the 2-1 delivery, and it's fouled back to the screen. So the count even, it's 2-2.
That's what you like to see, challenge you behind in the count. Go right after with the fastball. Now you have that opportunity to utilize your forkball to be able to get a swing and miss.
The numbers on Bobby Cassava, who preceded Kobayashi. Cassava worked an inning, gave up a hit, no runs, walked 2, didn't strike out any. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that one misses a little bit low, so the count full. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes on Rosales, who walked his first time up.
Well, that was a pretty good forkball. Good biting action. Started around knee level and ended up almost in the dirt.
So full count. Kobayashi set, delivers, and that one just missed a little bit low and outside. He's had a few borderline pitches here that have gone against him. So the leadoff man is on for the A's, a leadoff walk. And the Angels pitchers have already walked 5 in this game. Now the top of the batting order, Coco Crisp. Crisp has a single, and he's scored a run so far today. He's 1 for 2. That wind starting to swirl once again. Kobayashi delivers, and the pitch misses low and inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
It looked like it slowed down for about an inning. Now it's picking right back up again.
Yeah.
Anything hit in the air is going to be an adventure.
Cowart, the Angels' third baseman, is playing in a step or two with Crisp batting. Kobayashi is set. Long pause and the next pitch, and he's high and outside. He's struggling a little bit out there. You can see Carlin, after accepting that pitch, the Angels catcher, he was standing in front of home plate, kind of making a motion to Kobayashi to settle down. 2 balls and no strikes.
When you have the wind like this, sometimes your off-speed pitch is very difficult to navigate through that hard wind, whether it's a breaking pitch or a forkball by Kobayashi here.
Here's the next delivery, and he misses low with that one, so he's fallen behind. It's now 3 balls and no strikes. Kobayashi, who walked Rosales, has yet to throw a strike to Crisp. The count's 3-0, and the next pitch in there at the knees for a strike. 3-1 to count. Angels outfielders playing shallow. 3-1 on Coco Crisp, and the next pitch, he rips one foul down the right side. He hit that ball hard and deep, but a long foul strike.
Yeah, Coco has some pretty good power when he's getting the fastball. He was in a good fastball count there, 3-1. You know, Kobayashi's going to challenge you with that pitch, so he can turn and hit a fastball, whether it's in from the right or left side.
So with the count full, we'll see what happens on the 3-2 delivery. See if that runner will be on the move. A pickoff toss the first, and Rosales hustling back to the bag. Michael Taylor waiting on deck for the A's. We're in the 4th inning, and Kobayashi already pitcher number 4 of the day for the Angels. We saw the Angels use 9 pitchers yesterday in the game here. Full count, runner goes, 3-2 pitch, loop down the left field side, and that's a fair ball that's going to roll down that left field corner. Just getting to it is Cousins, and it'll be an opposite field double for Crisp. They have runners at second and third. Coco Crisp going the opposite way, his second hit of the day, and Oakland is in business here with 2 runners in scoring position, nobody out.
And the walks again, especially a leadoff walk. Now Coco worked the count in his favor. Got Rosales going, so you're going to get a fastball. Just went the other way with it. Sometimes as a hitter, when you see a pitcher walking batters or falling behind, it allows you to have the confidence you can just zone in on a particular area at the plate and have a better chance to make a good contact.
Carlin just went out and had a brief discussion there with Kobayashi, and Michael Taylor will be stepping up to the plate. Taylor struck out looking his first time up as a pinch hitter for Chris Young back in the second. We're in the fourth. It's 4-3 Angels, but the A's are threatening. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Infield in halfway, and there's a liner that's hit right to the second baseman, Brendan Harris. Didn't have to move and retired on one pitch as Taylor. One away, and the runner's obviously holding.
And it's sometimes during the regular season, Mike Scioscia might not bring the infield in, but these are opportunities for them to work on that, be in that position, because it's spring training. See how the guys react in the infield when the ball's hit well or hit at them, like we saw right there. Be able to get that first out of the inning by Michael Taylor to Brendan Harris. But most time I think Mike Scioscia would play back, give up that run middle part of the game here. But just an opportunity to work on some things.
So Seth Smith gets ready for his third at bat today. He's doubled in a run, scored a run, and struck out. Now the Angels bring the infield in more. First pitch is strike, snap throw to second. It's the third, I should say. It skips away from Coward, but quickly recovers it. So the lead runner over there, Rosales, still at third base. The count's 1 ball, no strikes on Seth Smith. Kobayashi in his first inning of relief. The A's have a left-hander up in their bullpen. They'll probably be going to the bullpen in the bottom of the inning. Infield remains in. Kobayashi ready, delivers. And he tried to pick at that inside corner, but missed. 2-0 the count. Outfield not too deep. The 2-0 on Seth Smith. He lines one into right field. Calhoun is there to make the catch. Tagging is Rosales. Here comes the throw to third. It's late, and easily scoring is Rosales on the sac fly, and that'll tie up the ball game at 4. Also on the play, tagging and moving from second to third is Coco Crisp. He's there with 2 outs, and the batter will be Cespedes.
Yeah, going to be a difficult task for Calhoun to throw out. Rosales at third base, especially ball hit well like that, has to stay right in his tracks. He can't make that movement towards coming in home to have the momentum going in his way, so sacrifice fly works for Oakland.
So the A's come right back here in the top of the fourth to tie it after the Angels took their first lead in the bottom of the third. And now we'll see if Kobayashi can get Cespedes and prevent that runner Crisp from scoring at third base. Right-hander against right-hander. And the first pitch, breaking ball, misses low and outside. And the Angels bat in the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be Young, Carlin, and Field, 8, 9, and top of the batting order. Here's the next pitch on Cespedes. He lifts one in the air on the right side of the infield. Should be the end of the inning. Navarro is under, across from the first base bag. He'll put it away on the infield dirt, and that'll end the inning. So in the inning, the A's get 1 run. They had 1 hit, 1 walk, no errors, and they leave another runner on base. Bottom of the fourth is next. We're tied at 4 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, Friday night Music Garden concerts are back for another year at the Big A with many great performances. Every Friday night home game throughout the season, the Big A will host live pregame music from local bands in Gate 1, the Music Garden. For more info and to submit recordings, visit angels.com/band. A few changes for the A's as the Angels get ready to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. A new pitcher for Oakland. Pedro Figueroa will take over. He's a lefty. And they have a couple of changes in the outfield. Shane Peterson is now playing left field. He replaces Alcides Cespedes. And Coco Crisp has left the game. The new center fielder is Michael Choice. So the first batter for the Angels here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Angels center fielder Matt Young, who grounded out his first time up. And the first pitch from Figueroa, that one a pitch that is up and in, a lefty-lefty matchup. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Young, Carlin, and Field batters for the Angels as we get the bottom of the fourth going. Next pitch, that's a pitch that just caught the inside corner. And the count even, it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Figueroa was in 19 games last year for the A's and did a pretty good job. 3.32 ERA. There's another pitch that caught the inside corner, and he moves in front of 1-2. Figueroa has a good arm. A lefty. He can throw a fastball, slider, and changeup, and they've had him clock up to 96 miles per hour in the past. Here's the next delivery, and that's low and outside.
He's got a good live arm. Good pop on the fastball. And as the spring training progresses, most pitchers start to pick up velocity on their fastball. Even talking to a number of the hitters today about the length of spring training, especially this year with the World Baseball Classic. We touched on that earlier. It's all about a base hit there for Matt Young. It's all about getting those reps together. And that's how you're able to get that velocity going for you.
Young just hustled into second base and beats the throw from the new left fielder Shane Peterson, and a hustle double there by Matt Young to start things off for the Angels here in the fourth inning.
Pretty good piece of hitting because that fastball had some life on him. He's able just to fight it down the third base line, and you mentioned that hustle. The way getting into scoring position with a leadoff double.
So the batter now is Carlin, and he's a switch hitting catcher, so he'll bat from the right side against the lefty Figueroa. 4-4 the score as we get the bottom of the fourth underway, and the first pitch, that one misses low and inside. Pedro Figueroa signed with the Oakland A's back in 2003 at the age of 17. Since then, he's put a lot of time in the minors. One ball, no strikes to count here on Luke Carlin. And there's a pitch that Carlin swings and foul tips into the mid of the catcher Norris. So the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
See that approach, trying to hit the ball to the right side of the infield to be able to advance. Matt Young, the third base, worst case scenario. So get a productive out. Like to get a base hit, but a productive out is very important also.
1-1 pitch on Carlin. He fouls that one off on the right side, backing out of play. Let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network. Here's the 1-2 on Carlin. He takes that one low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Terry Smith, Mark Gubison, our producer-engineer Darren Chan with you from Tempe. Had an interesting ball game so far. Still a lot of baseball to go. A 4-4 game. A's jumped off to a 3-0 lead, and the Angels came back to take a 4-3 lead. A's tying it in the top of the inning. Angels threatening to maybe regain the lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Here's the 2-2 outside, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Boy, a lot of pitches have been thrown in the game. The command certainly not there for the pitchers in this game. Early in spring, you're still trying to get your mechanics right. You want to be more consistent in the strike zone. I haven't seen that throughout this game so far.
Figueroa's next delivery on the payoff. It's hit in the air into medium right field toward the line. Taylor is under. He'll make the grab, tagging at second base, and moving over to third on that flyout will be Matt Young. So Carlin at least advances the runner over to third with one out, and we'll see if Tommy Field can bring in that base runner, Matt Young.
Boy, everybody in that dugout giving Carlin high fives for what he did. He got the job done, hit a ball well to right field enough to be able to get Matt Young over to third base, now forcing Oakland to be able to bring their infield in. See if the Angels can get that lead back here.
So Field is the batter. He's gone 1 for 2 today. And the first delivery, swings at it and fouls it off on the right side, back and out of play. A chilly day today here in Tempe. When we got started, 55 degrees. I don't know that it's warmed up any since. And it's been very windy today. Winds at about 30 miles per hour, so that wind chill is chilly today here in the Valley. There's a swing and a miss. Well, Gooby, it was last week. You missed the snow they had here.
I saw it on the news. I was like, there's no way. He even had to postpone a round of golf out here, too.
They did.
Match play.
Yep, the match play event here in the Valley. 2-strike pitch on Field. He takes that one high. And the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'm sure that doesn't happen too often out here, but it's pretty chilly.
That was the big local news story. All the news teams were out and they were showing kids throwing snowballs at each other, and people talking about the crazy weather we had. It was, I think, last Tuesday. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss at a high fastball, and down on strikes goes Field. We mentioned Figueroa has a good arm, and he blew it by him right there.
You challenge him upstairs. Very difficult pitch to lay off if you're a hitter. If you get somebody to swing at that pitch, you're going to get some swing and miss, or at the very least a pop-up in the infield.
So the Angels need a 2-out hit, and Scott Cousins will be the batter. This is going to be his first time up today, hitting out of Vernon Wells' spot. The Angels have Luis Jimenez waiting on deck if the inning continues. He would pinch hit for Mark Trumbo. On the first pitch, a ball on Cousins. 1 ball, no strikes. Infield is back with 2 outs. 4-4 game here in the bottom of the 4th. Angels have a runner at third, trying to get him in. And the 1-0 pitch. A ground ball hit deep in the hole at short. Long throw by Lowry to first base, and he gets it there in time, and that will end the inning. So the Angels threatened but failed to score here in the 4th. No runs, the leadoff double. That was the only hit, no errors, and a runner left. Angels have left 4 on through 4. We're headed to the 5th inning here in Tempe. We're tied at 4 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Angels have made a couple of changes on the right side of the infield. The new first baseman is Bill Hall. The new second baseman is Andrew Romine. Kobayashi is still pitching, and he gets ready to work as we head to the 5th inning in a 4-4 ball game here in Tempe. Jed Lowry will lead it off for the A's. Their shortstop. And here's the first pitch. He goes after it and pops it in the air on the third base side. Coward right behind the bag in fair territory. Makes the catch. Pop out to third. One pitch, one quick out. And Scott Sizemore will be the next batter. We haven't had a whole lot of first pitch outs today.
And we like them, though, especially when we're on the hill here.
That's right.
That's what you want to do as a pitcher. You want to be around the strike zone enough that where you have your opponent swinging at that first pitch because they don't want to fall behind in the count.
Yeah, the more the merrier as we move on here in inning number 5. Here's the pitch. That's low. It got away from the catcher Carlin, but nobody on base. 1 ball, no strikes on Scott Sizemore. This wind right now, it's like a windstorm in our booth.
Let's go from a 4-club wind up to a 5-club wind out on the golf course.
Wow. Here's the next delivery, and that one is low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, I know as we get deeper into spring training, we're going to have better weather here. You came for your little cameo appearance today, Gooby. And,
yes.
Wow.
I thought it was windy in the valley today back home, but it's windier here.
I hope when you're taking off tonight to head back to Southern California, you're taking off with the wind as opposed to against the wind. Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, you know how I love flying, too.
Right, yeah. 2-1 is the count on Sizemore. A chilly day today here in the Valley. 2-1 pitch. Lifted in the air into right field. That ball is carrying a bit. Calhoun is back. He's at the wall. He jumps up, and Calhoun out there in right field can't make the grab. That ball is gone. Or did he make the grab?
Wow, what a play.
He made the grab on that one.
Sizemore went back and hit it the other way, but Calhoun made an outstanding play. Back to the wall, leaps up, and makes a great catch as he runs into the wall.
Yeah, he sure did. I was watching the first base umpire, and he put his hand up. I thought he was giving the circle sign for a home run, but he was putting the hand up, I guess, to indicate the catch was made. That was outstanding by Calhoun.
Well, he's had a couple tough plays already. One up against the wall just over his glove, and that one just timed it perfectly. Ball in the glove, collision against the wall, and holds on to it.
Yeah, super play. So 2 are gone. And at the plate now, taking a pitch high, is Derek Barton, who's had a couple of hits today. He's been a tough out, a couple of singles. So it's still a 4-4 ball game thanks to Cole Calhoun.
This tells you how well that wind is pushing a baseball the other way. Sizemore's got good power. That ball was on the outer part of the plate and just went with it, and he hits the ball all the way to the wall in right field before Calhoun was able to run that down at the wall.
2 balls and no strikes on Barton. This would figure to be the final inning for Kobayashi. He did give up a run last inning, and here's the pitch, and that one is outside. So he's fallen behind. It's now 3-0. Well, Calhoun's been out there in right field all day long for the Angels, so he's had a chance to see how that wind's been blowing and how the ball's been carrying, and he made a very fine defensive play to Rob Sizemore on the 3-0. It's outside ball 4, a 4-pitch walk on Barton.
Well, if you're a pitcher out on the mound and you see your position players making plays like that, you're more apt than you would think to throw the ball in the strike zone and utilize that defense. But so often you see from pitchers, you get those first 2 outs of an inning, and next thing you know, you think you're through the inning, the focus is lost, you're behind the count 2-0, and before you know it, there's a walk. And now all of a sudden, you give your opponent an opportunity to be able to put something on potentially, maybe hit and run, or then groove a fastball and the guy could be able to hit it.
So at the plate is Norris, the catcher, and he takes that one a little bit low. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Kobayashi ready, taking some time now, delivers, and that pitch in there for a called strike. One ball, one strike on Norris. Angels will play against Seattle tomorrow. That game will be a road game for the Angels in Peoria. The pitch, high drive, lifted deep, but foul down the left side, and pretty good wood on that one off the bat of Derek Norris, but just a long strike.
You see this often in Florida in the Grapefruit League. Winds, always dealing with that in spring training. Not as much out here, but I'll tell you what, you can see the difference when you hit a ball with this wind blowing, and everything seems to be a problem. There's better carry, more difficult to read.
And there's a good-looking breaking pitch that fools Norris, and he is down on strikes, and that will end the inning. So Kobayashi gets his first strikeout, and in the inning, no runs, no hits, a walk, no errors. Nice play by Calhoun in right field, and they leave a runner on base. We're headed to the bottom of the fifth. They're still tied at 4 in Tempe on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Have a lot of changes for the Oakland A's as we get ready to move to the bottom of inning number 5 here in Tempe. We're tied at 4, and they have a new pitcher. He's a former Angel, Chris Resop. He will take over for the A's. They have Darwin Perez playing at shortstop. The new first baseman is Scott Moore. And they also have a new second baseman, and playing second is Eric Sogard. And the Angels are going to pinch hit for Mark Trumbo. Luis Jimenez is going to lead things off as we get set for the beginning of the bottom of the 5th. Trumbo leaves the game. He was the DH today. He went 1 for 2 with a stolen base. So Jimenez will be the batter. Right-hander against right-hander. Here's the pitch, and that one is in there for a called strike. Chris Resop, mentioned former Angel, and he was acquired by the A's in the offseason from the Pirates. He was in 61 games for Pittsburgh last year, had a 1-4 record, 3.91 ERA. And he worked a lot of innings as a reliever last season. He pitched 73 2/3 innings.
It's a lot of work out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
Not only the innings you get on that mound, but how many times you've got up and warmed up before you either got in or didn't even get in that particular night.
Here's the next pitch on Jimenez. He takes that one inside. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Two-on delivery. It's hit on the ground to third. A high hopper fielded there by the third baseman, and the throw by Rosales is in time to Moore, the new first baseman. That's the first down.
Rosales always had that strong throwing arm. That was a long throw across the diamond to get Jimenez on that ground ball high chopper.
So Cole Calhoun will get ready for his third at bat today. He's doubled in a run. He's also scored a run in this ball game. And he's had a nice catch out in the outfield that happened in the top of the inning. Here's the pitch. And that one is in there for a called strike. Nothing in 1 to count on the left-handed hitting Calhoun. Pedro Figueroa worked last inning for the A's. He gave up a hit and no runs, striking out 1 last inning. And Rysop is their 4th pitcher of the day. One ball, 1 strike to count. There's a pitch that misses low. You were mentioning earlier, Mark, the A's have a good bullpen. They're probably going to be without their closer, Grand Balfour. It's kind of up in the air whether or not he's going to be ready for the start of the season. He had a tear to his right meniscus and had arthroscopic surgery about 10 days ago. So they're hoping he might be ready for the start of the regular season, but it's certainly in doubt. There's a bouncer hit on the right side, stopped by the second baseman Sogard. He'll throw out Calhoun. That's the second out.
Well, they certainly have a lot of depth down there in their bullpen, a lot of power arms.
Yeah.
When you look up and down, whether it's right-handed or left-handed pitchers, all thrown in the upper 90s. And a lot of lefties out of the bullpen for Bob Melvin. Not just 1 or 2, they have 3 can get the job done. So there's depth down there. They're not going to rush Grant Balfour, but knowing the way Grant is, he'll get himself ready. He is a full max guy on the mound, throws as hard as he can, works very hard, so he'll give it every chance he can to get back there in time.
Andrew Romine is the batter for the Angels. This is his first time up. And the first pitch on Romine, a left-handed batter, is a ball to count. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. That one's high. A's used Ryan Cook as a closer last year. In fact, he was an all-star for Oakland last season. So he would certainly be an option if they need a closer at the beginning of the season. 2-0 the count on Romine. The next pitch. That's low and inside. It's now 3 balls and no strikes.
Here goes again, that old 2 outs, 2-0. We used to have to keep a chart in the minor leagues. How many times you get those 2 quick outs and all of a sudden you lose focus, think you're through the inning, and you're behind in the count.
Here's the 2-1 pitch in there for called strike. So Romine has the count even. It's 2-2. Next delivery on Andrew. He hits a 1-hopper out of the reach of the shortstop Perez and through into left center field. Good job of hitting there by Romine. He has a 2-out single. Romine can run a little bit as well, so we'll see if he might be on the move.
I did like the approach out of the batter's box too by Romine. He hit that base hit in the gap, thinking double right away, and then all of a sudden you see him be able to cut that ball off and stops. But it's that approach out of the batter's box that allows a base runner to potentially get into scoring position with a double, because he's thinking that in terms right out of the batter's box.
Luis Rodriguez will pinch hit. He is batting for Caleb Cowart. So Rodriguez in action in yesterday's game as a reserve, and there's a toss over to first base. Romine is back. Romine very well could be on the move on one of these pitches, and certainly Resep is thinking the same. That's why he tossed over there. Good size lead for Andrew Romine. Not going on the pitch, though, and that one is a little bit low and outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. If you're just tuning in or rejoining us, we're in the bottom of the 5th. It's a 4-4 ball game here in Tempe. The Angels 4 runs, 7 hits. A's have 4 runs, 6 hits. Oakland jumped on the Angels in the first inning today, scoring 3 times. And then the Angels came back to take a 4-3 lead, but that was a lead that didn't last very long. After the Angels went in front the next inning, the A's tied it, and were deadlocked at 4 in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch is high. 2-0 the count.
You can see what the threat of a stolen base does to a pitcher. Romine with good speed. Resep's trying to hold the ball to pitch before he utilizes a slide step to be quicker to the plate. So those little distractions forces a pitcher sometimes to throw pitches out of the zone, and now you're in a good hitter's count.
And Romine has a good size lead over there at first base. Pretty good pitch to run on. There's a pickoff toss again. He dives back to the bag safely. 2 balls, no strikes to count on Luis Rodriguez.
Especially with 2 outs, Rodriguez a good contact there, not necessarily a power guy, so you want to get in position where you can allow Romine to try to steal the base to get into scoring position to score on a single.
And there he goes. He's on the move. The pitch is strike. The throw to second. It is high. A stolen base. Well, you just kind of felt that Romine was going to be on the move, and sure enough, he does steal second. So now a base hit could likely bring him in and give the Angels the lead. We'll see if Rodriguez can come through.
And that stolen base was against the pitcher, not the catcher, because Resep had a high leg kick and a good jump from Romine, allowed him to get the second base into scoring position. Good patience by Rodriguez at the plate also.
Resep looking at second. And the next pitch, Rodriguez pops it up. Foul behind the plate. The catcher is under, and making the grab is Norris, and the inning is over on the foul pop. So the Angels leave a runner at second. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and the Angels leave 1 runner on. 5 complete. 6th inning is right around the corner. We're tied at 4 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Angels have made a number of changes as we get ready to move to the 6th inning. So both teams starting to get some new faces in the ball game. New catcher is Carlos Ramirez. The new pitcher from minor league camp is Wes Hatton. The Angels will keep Luis Rodriguez in the ball game. He came in to pinch hit for Coward. He's at third. Eric Stamets is the new shortstop for the Angels. Miles Head is going to pinch hit here to start the inning off for the Oakland A's. Head is a right-handed batter, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. The count 0-1. Miles Head is pinch hitting for Adam Rosales, who had a couple of walks today. And here's the next pitch. Grounded sharply on the third base side, right at Luis Rodriguez, who's over there. He makes a bad throw, and it skips past Bill Hall. The pitcher was backing up, and then second baseman, Romine was backing up, and then threw the ball back to first base, but the batter is safe. It'll be an error on Rodriguez, who made the bad throw, the Angel third baseman. So that's how the inning begins.
Yeah, if that ball was thrown well back to Bill Hall at first, they would have been able to get Head because he started making that motion towards second base. And at that point, you have to get back to the base. An error on Rodriguez at third base.
Here's the pitch from Hatton, and that one is in there for a called strike. Shane Peterson at the plate, and this is his first time up. He takes that pitch. It's in there for a strike. The pitcher on the mound for the Angels is Kevin Johnson. We were told it was Wes Hatton, who also has the same number as Johnson. But this is Kevin Johnson who is on the mound. And the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Lots of changes already in this game. Players usually see this towards the end of spring training. Guys getting their opportunity. Some meaningful playing time here.
Next delivery, that one is fouled off on the left side. It goes back and out of play. Kevin Johnson last year pitched at AA Arkansas, AAA Salt Lake. Had 18 saves last year, and he's a pitcher that's known to have a good sinker. That's his out pitch. When he's going right, he'll get ground balls, and he got one against the first batter he faced. But the throwing error by Rodriguez. Here's the next delivery, and that one is cut on and missed. Spinning around, chasing that pitch is Peterson. Struck him out. Put away.
Right on that one, Terry. That movement on that fastball started towards the middle of the plate and ends up off the outside corner and almost in the dirt. Talking about a great moving fastball. That certainly was that. Johnson.
So 1 away. Here's Michael Taylor. 4-4 game. We're in inning number 6 here in Tempe. Johnson's pitch, and that one is a strike on the outside corner.
That's the beauty of having a hard sinking fastball. You're always 1 pitch away from getting out of inning no matter what the scenario is, because you can get a ground ball and get those double plays when need be because you have that power sinker, and hitters like to swing at the fastball. Just try to keep it down.
Kevin Johnson waiting on Taylor. He had backed out of the batter's box. Now everyone appears to be ready. Head is the base runner over at first base. Fair lead at best. Here's the next pitch. Grounded on the third base side. This should be 2. The flip to second. And then bobbling the ball and unable to get through following the throw to first base is Romine, so it's not going to be a double play, just the out at second base. Looked like it was going to be an inning-ending twin killing, but the Angels just unable to turn it there.
Good feed. Able to get it out. There's the transition from glove to the throwing arm for Romine. Bobbled it. Still able to get the force place, and no error involved in that. You can't assume the double play.
Right.
And a little bit different when your second base is compared to the shortstop. The feed to the base at second. The footwork's different.
Addison Russell is the batter. He's pinch hitting for Seth Smith. This is his first time up. Yeah, Kevin Johnson with any luck at all in this inning, he'd have a 1-2-3 inning. He'd be out of the game, but the Angels have had a couple of ground balls that they haven't converted on defensively.
Easy on the dirt. We need it all season.
Mike Butcher, Mike Scioscia would like to see this, especially from a pitcher, power sinker, getting those ground balls.
Here's the next pitch. That's low and outside. So the count even. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. And the Angels bat in the bottom of the 6th. We'll see how Mike Scioscia has things lined up. Bill Hall, I think, is going to lead the inning off. He's hitting out a Navarro spot. And then Matt Young, and we'll probably see Ramirez hit out of the 9-hole if it's a clean switch for Luke Carlin, who's no longer in the game. Ramirez replaced him behind the plate. It's Carlin's spot in the batting order to come up. Toss over to first base. Runner gets back safely. Johnson is ready. And the runner goes. The pitch hits lifted in the air into right field. Circling under and making the grab out there is Randall Grichuk, who's now playing right field for the Angels. And that will end the inning. So a pretty good inning for Kevin Johnson. No runs, hits, 1 error, and 1 runner left on base. Bottom of the 6th coming up in Tempe. It's a 4-4 score on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Bottom of the 6th we go. New pitcher in the game for the A's, Pat Neshek, and Bill Hall batting. The first pitch, he takes it for a ball. The count 1 ball and no strikes. Neshek throws sidearm. Funky delivery out there on the mound. And the next pitch, Hall fouls that one off over near the A's dugout on the third base side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Neshek, his numbers last season with Oakland were very good. 24 appearances, 2-1 record, 1.37 ERA.
Talk about great deception from the mound. Neshek definitely has that. Hides the ball well. Just a tough arm angle. Very difficult for a right-handed batter against him.
Now, opponents hit only 147 against him, and he was lights out last year against right-handed batters. 1-2 the count on Hall. Here's the next pitch, and he slings that one low and away outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
When he first came up with the Minnesota Twins, he pitched in a lot of games, was very, very good, then ran into some arm problems. Nice job for Oakland, as everyone else did out of that bullpen for him.
Next pitch on Hall. He drives one into center field. Backpedaling is Michael Choice. He has a beat on it, and in straightaway center, he'll put that one away. Hall got pretty good wood on it, but a routine out as it turns out. And Matt Young, who's gone all the way so far in center field for the Angels, will be batting. He's had a double in his 2 times up. Left-handed hitter. Carlos Ramirez waiting on deck. It'll be his first time up today. And the first pitch on Long, that one is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the next delivery, a bouncing ball just out of the reach of the shortstop Darwin Perez and through into left center field. So Matt Young, I should say, has his second hit today.
He tried to do a whole lot with it to stay with the pitch. Gets it by the shortstop. Just a nice approach, quiet approach for Matt Young. Second hit, a single and a double in the game so far.
You're mentioning Neshek, Mark, and how tough he is against right-handed batters. Young, who just got the hit, a left-handed batter. But last year, right-handed batters were 5 for 53 against him. That's an .093 batting average.
It's so difficult for a right-handed batter to be able to pick the baseball up. It's almost as if he's throwing right at you when he lands. You don't want to, as a hitter, you don't want to give up that inside part of the plate, but it's difficult not to when you see that arm angle he throws it at you.
Ramirez taking a pitch low and outside. On the flip side, left-handed batters hit .333 against them, so it was a totally different story last year with Neshek facing right-handers and left-handers. Here's a toss over to first base, and Young gets back.
Way back in the day when Dennis Eckersley was closing games for Oakland and Tony La Russa was his manager, a lot of times he would leave if there was a tough left-handed batter, because same thing with Eckersley, although Eckersley was dominant against both lefties and righties, but more so against righties and lefties. Tony La Russa would leave Rick Honeycutt in to face that tough lefty to start an inning off, and then bring Eckersley in against the right-handed batters.
Carlos Ramirez, who's batting, he was with Double-A Arkansas last year, didn't hit much. He is a good defensive catcher. Runner breaks the throw to second base, was offline, but making a nice stop was Sogard, and then he reached across the bag and gets the tag on Young for the out. Boy, that was a heck of a play by the second baseman there.
Boy, it's a very difficult play. Not only you have to be able to catch the ball, but then you reach back quickly to be able to apply that tag, knowing that the runner's going to be sliding in with his cleats right at you. Sogard, very good play here. Not only catching the ball on that short hop, but spinning around and applying the tag.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of throws by Luke Muntz, who's now catching, but boy, Sogard really bailed him out. Here's a pitch that catches the outside corner. It froze Ramirez. And it's 2-1 on the Angels catcher. 2 outs now, no one on base in a 4-4 ball game. Bottom of the 6th inning in Tempe. And the next pitch, and that one is a little bit inside and misses.
That's what managers look for in utility type players, and Sogard is a utility player for Bob Melvin to play all the positions, but playing well defensively. That's the important thing for a guy that's not going to play every day, but plays a number of positions.
And there's a pitch that misses inside, and he walks Ramirez, so he will keep the inning alive. That caught stealing now really looms bigger in the inning. Randall Grichuk will be the batter. He's hitting out of the leadoff spot now, Tommy Field's spot. Right-handed batter. And the first pitch on Grichuk, he's taking, and that one misses low and away for ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Grichuk, another one of the big prospects for the Angels, get an opportunity here early in spring, which is good to be able to see if you're a young player.
Next pitch, he's taking that one. It's in there for called strike, so it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Grichuk has good power, and he clubbed 18 home runs last year at Inland Empire. He figures to be in Double-A this season, and he bounces one softly toward the shortstop, fielded by Perez. He flips the second. They force out Ramirez, and the inning is over on the 6-4 fielder's choice. In the inning for the Angels, no runs, a hit, a walk, no errors, and the Angels leave a runner. That's 6 stranded through 6. We head to the 7th inning in Tempe, still deadlocked at 4 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Angels baseball is back. Individual game tickets for the 2013 regular season are now on sale. Make your plans to be a part of Big Bang Fridays, post-game concerts, promotional nights, and great opponents like the Yankees and Dodgers. Purchase tickets today at Angels.com or the Angels Stadium ticket office. Terry Smith, Mark Gubison, our producer-engineer Darren Chan with you on this Sunday from Tempe, a 4-4 game as we head to the 7th. Andrew Taylor takes over as the new Angel pitcher. He replaces Kevin Johnson, who had a scoreless inning last inning for the Halos. And there is also a new center fielder, Travis Witherspoon. Takes over for Matt Young, and he will hit out of Young's spot in the batting order as well. So the first pitch from Taylor, that one on Michael Choice, and it's outside for a ball. The count, 1 ball, no strikes. Choice batting for the first time today. Rips the ball deep into left field. He hit it well out there, and that one's going to smack off the wall in left field. Heading into second and stopping there with a ringing double before the throw in from Scott Cousins is Choice. So Choice is on for Oakland to start it off in the 7th with an extra base hit.
Well, you got a pitch on the inner half of the plate from Andrew Taylor. A good spot if you're a right-handed batter with some power. Able to open up the front hips and turn on it. Lead off double.
So Eric Sogard will bat. He swings from the left side. And here's the first pitch. He's around the bunt, and he pops it up foul behind the plate, but it's out of the reach of catcher Carlos Ramirez, who is chasing. So the count, no balls, 1 strike.
And these are things as a hitter you're working on already in spring training. Square around to bunt that ball down. You want to bunt it down to third baseline if you can. Sogard looked like he tried to push that ball instead of just playing. Basically, you're trying to play catch with the bat, be able to force it down that third baseline, make the third baseman make the play, so that way Choice will be able to advance to third base.
That wind blowing hard once again. Here's the pitch. Sogard again bunting, pops another one up back behind the plate out of the reach of Ramirez, who is in pursuit again. So it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Shot right now, too late now.
And all of a sudden, if you're Andrew Taylor, now you're thinking in terms of getting a strikeout and keeping that runner at second base with 1 out instead of having him being at third base with 1 out. But the successful bunt is put down.
Oh, 0-2 the count on Sogard. Here's the 2-strike pitch. He thought about chasing that one, and he holds up the pitch a little bit outside for a ball. Sogard was in 37 games last year for the A's. He hit just 167. And he battled some ankle and back issues last season. Here's the 1-2. He swings at that one and lifts it in the air into left center field. Witherspoon is not going to be able to get to it. The ball drops in. The runner at second will just get to third base. He thought that ball was going to be caught. His Choice did not get any kind of break at all. And on a double by Sogard, the runner at second only moves up 1 base. Don't see that happen very often.
One of those plays, too, Witherspoon thought he had a good beat on it, but again, you're dealing with the sun, you're dealing with the wind, wasn't able to get a good read on that baseball. But as a base runner, you want to be halfway to be able to see if it's going to be a difficult play for an outfielder. And then when you get to that position, then you try to pick up your third base coach and potentially score on a double when you're already at second base.
So the A's in this inning have had 2 batters up, and they've had back-to-back doubles, but they haven't scored a run. And here is Darwin Perez batting for the first time today, and he fouls that one off over on the left side. Nothing in 1 the count. Perez batting out of Sizemore's spot, and Scott Sizemore had an RBI today on a sac fly, also had a walk. Next pitch, he takes that one low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Andrew Taylor, who's on the hill for the Angels. We saw him make his major league debut for the Angels last season, the left-hander. Former 34th round pick of the Angels back in 2008, and he delivers that one outside. So the count's 2 balls and a strike. Taylor got into 3 games for the Angels last year. He'll throw a fastball. He has a pretty good slider and a changeup. Infield for the Angels at medium depth. The A's have runners at second and third in a 4-4 game here in the seventh. And the pitch, that's lined into right field, and that's a fair ball. It's going to roll all the way down in the right field corner. Grichuk just getting to it. 2 runs have scored and headed for third base and sliding in late and out at third base is Perez. So the Angels gun him down, trying to stretch it into 3, but he does end up getting their third double in the inning and scores a couple of runs, and Oakland has a 6-4 lead.
Well, you're talking about textbook as far as defensively. Grichuk did a nice job of getting the ball on the cutoff man, Romine, who makes a perfect throw to third base. You'll get him before the foot gets in on the base. Although Mike Scioscia's not going to be happy about the 2 runs scoring, he's going to like the fact that the defense was very solid there as far as everything was done well. As far as getting to the baseball, getting that ball into the relay man, and a strong throw to third base.
So the first out coming on the 9-4-5 put out, right fielder to relay man, second baseman, and then the throw on to third. But they get the 2 runs in the inning, and they're up 6-4. Here's the next pitch, lefty-lefty matchup, and that one is in there for a strike. Scott Moore is the batter, and this is his first at bat today. He grounds one right to second. Romine has it. His throw will get Moore, and that's the second out. So getting ready for his first at bat today is the new catcher, Luke Montz. Montz, a right-handed batter, swings and misses that pitch. No balls and 1 strike, the count. Taylor ready. Here's the next pitch, and that one is outside. Andrew Taylor, pitcher number 5 of the day for the Angels. We've seen Enright, Rube, Cassava, Kobayashi, Johnson, and Andrew Taylor pitching here in the 7th inning. Next delivery, bounce foul on the first base side. So the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Luke Montz. He spells his last name M-O-N-T-Z. Taylor ready, and the 1-2 pitch, ripped foul down the left side. Montz really got around on that one, but fouled it off.
Yeah, looking for a spot in the inner half of the play, and he wasn't late on that one. Make sure he got the bat head out. The contact pull fouled. You see a hitter do that, though, as a pitcher. That's when you think it turns. Maybe I'll try a changeup now.
Here's the next 2-strike pitch, and that one's popped up foul, not too far away from us, backing out of play. Today in the Cactus League, we're in the 8th inning. Texas and Kansas City are tied at 5. Bottom of the 8th, Cubs are up on the Giants 4-3. Dodgers and White Sox 2-2 in the 8th inning. Adam Dunn with a home run for Chicago in that one. Indians lead Milwaukee 6-4 in the 6th inning. Carlos Santana, a home run for Cleveland. The pitch low and inside. The 8th inning, Seattle leads San Diego 8-1. Raul Ibanez back for yet another go-around with the Mariners. His 3rd tour of duty with them. He hit a home run for Seattle.
Well, he had some big home runs last year for the Yankees in the end of the season and the postseason.
Yeah, postseason. And in the 8th inning, Arizona's up on Colorado 8-2. Here's the next pitch, and that one misses, so the count runs full. In the Grapefruit League in Florida, Tampa Bay beat Minnesota 10-7. Toronto blanked the Yankees 2-0. Yankees out-hit Toronto in that game 11-9, but was shut out 2-0. Baltimore beat Toronto 5-4 as the pitch on Montz is Low for ball 4, so the inning continues here with 2 outs. Miles Head will be the batter. Right-handed hitter against the lefty Andrew Taylor. The pitch, he swings and misses that one. Washington and Miami played to a 2-2 tie. Pirates beat Atlanta 9-2. Jason Hayward had a home run for Atlanta. Clint Barmas homered for the Pirates in that one. The Pirates, a team the Angels will play in interleague play this season. Here's the next delivery on Head, and that's high and outside. Phillies and the Tigers went 10 innings to a 5-5 tie. Kevin Franzen, former Angel, hit a home run in that game for Philadelphia. Victor Martinez hit one for Detroit.
Well, that's a powerful lineup, too. The Angels are going to have one of the best lineups in the game, especially in the American League. Tigers right there with them.
Yeah, the Tigers getting Victor Martinez back after missing all last year. And, of course, they added Torrey Hunter, so 2 pretty good bats that will be in their lineup that were not available last year. Mets and Astros played to a 7-7 tie. Boston beat St. Louis 5-3. Toss over to first base. Back to the bag goes the base runner.
Difference in the lineups for the Tigers and the Angels. The Angels have that ability because of speed to be able to manufacture some runs. When you look at that Tiger lineup, a lot of power throughout, but not a lot of speed outside of Austin Jackson beating off of the Tigers. So they're a team of old Earl Weaver ran the baseball waiting for that 3-run home run.
Yeah.
You certainly have enough guys in that lineup who could do that, though.
We were talking about that Detroit-Philadelphia game. Torrey Hunter went 0 for 3 today for the Tigers. He had a couple of strikeouts in that game. Here's the next pitch, and that one is low and outside. In this one, it's 6-4 Oakland. We're in the top of the 7th inning. This has been a long ball game. The first inning today took almost an hour.
A lot of pitches thrown.
Yeah. Barry Enright, who started that game for the Angels, today's game, did not survive the first inning. He gave up 4 hits and 3 runs in 2/3 of an inning. Next delivery fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. Let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count, 2 outs. Ready is Taylor's next delivery, and that one is tipped foul right by the plate, so the count remains at 2-2. Can hear that wind blowing in the background. It's actually raising the panels, the roof panels in our booth. Goovy, you're watching the panels and not the game right now. We might be in the windiest spot at this ballpark right now. I'll tell you what. Here's the 2-2, and that one is cut on and missed. He got him. Had a strikeout victim, and that will end the inning. But the A's come up with a pair of runs against Andrew Taylor. They did it with 3 straight doubles to start the inning off. Also a walk, no errors, and they leave a runner on base. It's 7th inning stretch time in Tempe. 6-4 Oakland on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Just had the 7th inning stretch here in Tempe. We'll see if the Angels can get things going in the bottom half of the 7th after the A's put up a pair in the top of the inning. Kyler Newby is the new pitcher. First name K-Y-L-E-R. Last name is spelled N-E-W-B-Y. Kyler Newby. I haven't known too many Kylers, and I don't know that I've known too many newbies either. How about you?
I know a newbie, a running back from Chaminade Eagles football program, is going to Nebraska.
Keep an eye on him.
Scored over 100 touchdowns in his career at Chaminade.
Wow.
Just to give you a tidbit there.
Tidbit there, yep. At the plate for the Angels is Scott Cousins. And the first pitch from Newby is ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
They want the fans to figure out a way to stay warm here. Every time they keep moving towards the sunshine on both sides of the field.
Yep. The shaded areas of Tempe Diablo are not a real popular spot right now. It's probably about 30 degrees cooler in the shade. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Scott Cousins. He's 0 for 1 since coming into the game, and there's a pitch that he takes for ball 2. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Newby, right-hander, is working from the stretch, and the next pitch, that one is missed by Cousins. 2-2 the count.
He went to Mesa Community College, which is not too far down the road from here, so he's a local.
Yeah. Here's the next pitch, and reaching at that one is Cousins, and he grounds it right to second. Sogard has it, and he will throw him out. So an easy play, a ground out to second base. Luis Jimenez will bat. He's gone 0 for 1 since coming into the ball game. Newby replaces Neshek, who had a scoreless 6th inning against the Angels, although he did give up a hit and pitched out of some trouble. And the first pitch, that one is a strike on the outside corner. Newby is pitcher number 6 of the day for the A's. And the Angels along the way have also used 6 pitchers so far in this game. It's a pitch that's missed, and the count 0-2. Here's the next delivery, and that one is low and outside. Newby has kind of a unusual delivery to the plate.
Just enough
Comes over the top.
Exactly, and he's good snap on his breaking pitch also.
He's ready, and here's the next pitch. Chopped foul over on the third base side.
Not quite Kevin Gregg, former Angel, as far as straight over the top. Kevin would open up his front shoulder enough where you'd be able to pick the baseball up a little bit sooner, but right here with Newby over the top, hides the ball a little bit better, because hitters generally like when a pitcher's straight over the top like that, because the fastball is not going to move quite as much as the guy at the 3/4 delivery.
And the next pitch on the 1-2, that one is cut on and missed, and Jimenez is a strikeout victim. So Newby's had a couple of quick outs here against the Angels. And the batter now for the Angels is Stamets, who will be batting for the first time today. Saw him in yesterday's ball game, Eric Stamets. Young player. And very speedy player. Here's the pitch. He takes that one low and outside.
You're starting to see that a lot more around baseball. Guys with good speed. Go back to the game in which you had a lot of more stolen bases, hit and run, bunting, manufacturing runs.
Pitch was outside on Stamets. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the 2-0, and that's a strike on the outside corner. Newby's 2-1 pitch on the outside part of the plate. That's a called strike.
Now you want to leave early, huh?
Stamets was selected by the Angels last June, so he has yet to play a full season of pro ball. He was a 6th-round pick. And he started his pro career last year at Class A Cedar Rapids. He takes that one low and outside. So the count runs full on him, 3-2. He's been clocked, Mark, 4.1 seconds home plate to first base.
Well, let's get down there quick.
And that's a right-handed batter. The 3-2 delivery, and that one is low and outside. Ball 4. See if he might try and steal a base now that he's on. Andrew Romine will be the next batter.
Showed some pretty good patience, too. Didn't chase any of those breaking pitches from Newby. They weren't bad. They're just a little bit down out of the strike zone.
So the Angels have a 2-out base runner down by a couple of runs. Tying run at the plate. Romine, since coming in, has a single. He's also stolen a base. Stamets has a good-sized lead. Not going, though, in the first pitch. That's cut on and missed.
Already? Really? You get in there.
A's right-hander ready. And the next pitch, Romine takes that one low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Tomorrow, when the Angels are in action against the Seattle Mariners, Garrett Richards against Jeremy Bonderman, who's on the comeback trail. Signed a minor league deal with Seattle, former Detroit Tiger pitcher.
Still young enough to be able to have some good throws left in that arm, you would think. Decided to come back. Talked about it, he retired, and then all of a sudden felt the itch to try to make a comeback. The arm feeling better. Always is a great competitor.
Yesterday, when the Angels played the Cubs, we were hoping that we might see Dontrell Willis pitch. He was with the Cubs travel squad here yesterday. We did not see any action in the ball game. Dontrell, at one time, one of the biggest names in the game.
20-game winner.
Right. Rookie of the year.
That high leg kick hit the baseball very well. And all of a sudden, control problems got him.
Right. Here's the 1-2. And that pitch, check swing, missed a little bit low on Romine. 2-2 the count. Mentioned Bonderman facing the Angels, a guy who used to be a teammate of his, Nate Robertson in Detroit. He's also on the comeback trail. He recently signed a free agent contract trying to resurrect his career.
When you see those contracts being given to players now, why would you not? If somebody's going to give you that opportunity to go out and play, put on that uniform once again, you got to take a shot at it.
Yep.
That's all 30 teams say no. And if somebody says yes, you got to give it a shot.
The Angels just recently signed a former first-round pick of the A's, pitcher by the name of Ben Fritz, who actually was a first-round pick the same year the A's drafted Joe Blanton back in 2002. There's a pitch that's low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fritz never got to the big leagues, but has gotten the itch to pitch again after not having been in organized baseball for a number of years. He pitched an independent ball, and the Angels saw him in a January workout.
And how great is Joe Blanton look right now? He's in tremendous shape.
Yeah. Here's a bouncer hit on the right side, fielded by the second baseman. Sogart will throw out Romine, and that's how the Angels' 7th inning will come to an end. 4-3 on the ground out. In the inning, no runs, hits, or errors, a walk, and the Angels leave another runner on. We're headed to the 8th inning. It's 6-4 Oakland on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. As we get set to move to the 8th inning, the Angels will bring in a new pitcher, and his name is Manny Correa. He is a right-hander who takes over. He replaces Andrew Taylor. Taylor worked last inning in the 7th, and he was touched for 3 hits. Also a pair of runs, they were earned, and he walked a batter. So we'll see Manny Correa work for the Angels now. And he will face the top of the batting order, Shane Peterson, who came in to replace Coco Crisp a number of innings ago. Will get ready to bat for the 2nd time today. Left-handed hitter.
Shane, you suck!
Correa is ready, and the right-hander's first pitch. That one is chopped foul over on the right side. Manny Correa, last season, pitched at Inland Empire, where he started most of the time. He had a 9-10 record, 4.31 ERA. Here's a pitch that is high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Peterson. Correa is from the Dominican Republic and has been in the Angels organization since 2007. Most of his action, though, has come in the lower minors, although he has made 1 career appearance in AAA. And there's a ball lifted down the left field side, and a nice running catch by Scott Cousins right near the foul line in fair territory. He makes the grab. Momentum took him into foul ground, and that's the first out.
Well, that's not an easy play off a left-handed bat going away from you like that. As a left fielder, you have to keep your eye on the ball and be able to find where you're going to run towards that warning track area down the line. Good read. Never took his eye off the baseball. Was able to make that play. Almost looked routine, but that's a very difficult play when the baseball's running away from you.
First pitch misses for a ball, Michael Taylor. And it's 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch. That one is a strike on the outside corner. Right-hander against right-hander. Correa is sent, and here's the next pitch. That's a little bit low and outside. The 2-1 delivery. Up and in, ball 3, 3-1. The attendance today, 5,213. 52-13 here in Tempe.
Pretty brave of them, too. Dealing with some cool temperatures and some strong winds.
Yeah, no doubt. There's a big cut and a miss by Taylor, and the count runs full. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes.
You got this, kid. Let's go 6-6.
Correa is ready. Here's the next delivery. Chopped foul on the right side. That's going to get back and out of play. Manny Correa is in his 7th pro season now. And outside of 1 appearance in the Angels minor league system, all of them have come in A ball or lower. And here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him, struck him out. Taylor is down on strikes for the 2nd time today. Back-to-back outs recorded by Correa.
Well, just looking at his delivery, he's got a good live arm, good movement on the fastball. Surprising he hasn't been up there at the higher levels, AA, AAA, with an arm like that. What it comes down to is being consistently throwing the ball in the strike zone. That's a sharp slider to go along with a good fastball.
He's 24 years old. And the first pitch in there for a strike on Russell. He takes that one low. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Rhea's next pitch, that one's low and away, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
85.
Down right-hander on the hill for the Angels, pitcher number 7 of the day. And the 2-1 delivery. Move it inside, ball 3, 3-1.
Hey, Blues, go! It's almost happy hour!
He's set, and here comes the next pitch. Russell swings and lifts it in the air into right field. Grichuk is going back, still going back at the warning track, can't come up with it. Ball hits off the wall, going to second, and stopping there will be Russell. He might have been able to get the third base, but he jammed on the brakes after he made a turn around second. 2-out double. A's have had their share of extra base hits in today's game, and Michael Choice will be the next batter.
Grichuk playing shallow and right. That ball was hit well, and he continues to carry so well to right center field, right field with that wind blowing out that way. He had to go a long way. He was able to field it off the wall and get it back in time to be able to prevent a triple.
7 doubles in this game for Oakland out of their 10 hits. So here's Michael Choice at the plate. And the first pitch, that one's in there for a strike. Right-handed hitting Michael Choice. There's a pitch, he takes that one, misses low. Choice right now regarded as the top position player in the A's organization, and he was a first-round pick by Oakland back in the 2010 draft. Here's the next pitch. He hits it sharply through the left side for a base hit. Going into third and being waved around is Russell. Throw to the plate. Pops off the mid of Ramirez. So Choice, the batter, will end up at second base, a run in. And the A's add on here in the 8th inning. It's now 7-4 on that 2-out RBI hit.
There's still beers available. Yeah.
Cuz did a nice job as far as charging the baseball. Tough throw. Especially with 2 outs going on. The base hit, able to slide in there as the ball went off the glove for Ramirez at the plate. But a nice job by Cousins as far as charging that base hit and making a strong throw to the plate.
So Choice gets his second hit since coming in. I was mentioning he's their top position player prospect. Michael Choice a couple of years ago in the Cal League hit 30 home runs. And there's a pitch that misses a little bit low on Sogard for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
This side is warmer than my hand.
He's had some good swings today, that's for sure.
Yeah. Correa is ready. Here's the next pitch. Chop foul back behind the plate. So the count even, it's 1 ball, 1 strike. And Correa got the first 2 batters out here in this 8th inning, but is getting a back-to-back 2-out hits. He's having some trouble closing out the inning. Right-hander delivers, and that one is chopped foul back behind the plate, so he has a couple of strikes here on Sogard, who doubled his last time up.
Somebody that give that guy a taxi.
Left-handed hitting Sogard awaits the pitch. Correa checks second, and here's the 1-2. That's low and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
2, 2, 2.
Oakland A's, a team that absolutely caught fire last season and ended up winning the division. They had a remarkable turnaround as far as their season a year ago to end up winning 94 games. There's a pitch that's low and inside. They were 13 games out of first place on June the 30th last season.
Seemed like they got hot during interleague play. That's when they started taking off at that particular point. Won a lot of games late, extra inning games. You can do that when you have a strong bullpen like they had. That's, I think, was a big key for them. Their bullpen kept them in games, and they had some timely hitting to be able to win those close ones.
Yeah. There's a bouncer hit on the first base side. Romine a couple feet back on the outfield grass. The second baseman fields and throws to first to get Sogard, and the inning is over. In the inning, another run for Oakland on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave a runner. They've stranded 10, but as we go to the bottom of the 8th, they're up by 3. It's 7-4 Oakland on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget, groups of 25 or more can enjoy exciting Angels baseball for as low as $6 per seat. This year, take advantage of the exclusive group hat collection for select series. To book your group outing, just call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/groups. So here we go to the bottom of the 8th, 7-4. A's up on the Angels. Luis Rodriguez leading it off, and he takes the first pitch for a called strike. Kyler Newby is still pitching for Oakland. And the next delivery lifted in the air into right center field, not very deep. It's who's going to try and make the play. Choice ends up looking at Taylor, and they look at each other, and the ball drops in for a hit. So Rodriguez will take it. He is on with a single into right center field, and Bill Hall will be the next batter.
Well, we said everything hit in the air was going to be an adventure, and that certainly was. That was a well-placed fly ball into right in between center and right field for a base hit.
So Bill Hall, who's been up once so far today with a fly out, will be the next batter. And the pitch, and Hall swings and drives one deep into left field. It's out by the wall, and that ball is going to be in play, being waved around and trying to come in to score, and thrown out at first at home plate is Rodriguez.
I could have swore that ball was over the fence.
Well, that's what the Angels are claiming, and that's what I thought when it left the bat there. The umpire at third base said the ball was in play. That ball clearly went over the wall there. So not only are the Angels apparently not going to get a 2-run homer, there's going to be an out on the play. Here at Tempe Diablo Stadium, the ball only has to clear the outfield wall where the billboards are, and then just behind there, there's a retaining fence.
That hit the retaining fence, it looked like, for sure.
And if it hits the retaining fence, it's a home run. That's why the ball bounced back in. It hit the chain link fence, but that's just there to protect the fans on the grass from leaning over the wall area and actually falling onto the warning track. Travis Witherspoon is at the plate now, so the Angels have a tough break right there. They could be down by only 1 run here on an apparent 2-run homer by Bill Hall. Instead, he ends up getting a double, but there was an out at home plate. Rodriguez trying to score from first base on the apparent home run was thrown out at the plate.
You see that power that Bill Hall has. He can turn on a fastball.
1 ball, 1 strike on Witherspoon, who bloops the ball in the left field for a base hit. Hall is going to be waved around from second, and he will come in to score. So the Angels do get a run here in this inning, and now trail at 7-5. So there have been 3 hits in the inning, but 1 out, 1 run in, and Carlos Ramirez will be the next batter. Of course, in the exhibition games, Mark, on the home run calls, you don't go to the instant replay in the cactus or grapefruit leagues. Although in theory here, with today's game being televised, they could have taken a look had there been an opportunity. But
Get some practice.
Yeah, why not? 1 ball, no strikes the count on Carlos Ramirez. He bats with 1 out, a run in, and the Angels trailing at 7-5 here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Joe Torre just mentioned the other day that instant replay will stay exactly the same this year, but then next year it'll be different.
And there's a ground ball base hit through on the left side, so the Angels have their 4th hit in this inning and have runners at first and second. 1 out, and Randall Grichuk will be the next batter. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch runner for Ramirez over there at first base.
That's it. That's it. Oh, yeah.
So the Angels will have a new catcher when we get to the 9th inning. And I believe that's Alex Yarborough who's going to pinch run. Young player in the Angels system. First pitch is a strike on Grichuk. 0-1 to count.
Hold on,
Newby is ready. And wheels around, lifts a throw to second base.
Hey, Zero, it was a home run.
Angels base runner there.
Yeah, it was gone. It was gone.
Witherspoon.
Too fast forward.
Next time, hit it harder, though.
Here's the 0-1. Grichuk fouls one back behind the plate. So he's quickly in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes.
Back-to-back breaking pitches he's seen so far. That one was elevated enough for him. He had a pretty good swing at it.
Mike Carroll and happy hour.
Scott Cousins waiting on deck. Here's the next pitch on Grichuk. It's low. It got away from Muntz, the catcher. Now breaking for a second and getting there safely is the back-end runner for the Angels. The pinch runner, Yarborough, runners at second and third. Boy, it looked like Yarborough was going to be thrown out at second base, but the throw took a bounce and went right between the legs of the infielder covering there. So that is going to be scored as a wild pitch, advancing both Angel runners to second and third base.
Well, there was a chance at a play at second base.
Yeah, no doubt.
I knew we would have an opportunity to be able to get somebody thrown out on a wild pitch and one off the top of the wall, all in the same inning.
There's a pitch that misses low. So the count on Grichuk even at 2-2. A base hit here could tie the game up. The Angels are down 7-5. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him to chase one low, struck him out. So that's out number 2.
have to tie it up with ball.
Scott Cousins will be the batter. And we see Bob Melvin going out to the mound, and he wants to make a pitching change here. So we will take a break as Newby will leave, and we'll see who they bring in from the bullpen. Looks like they're going to bring in a right-hander. Pitching change here in the bottom of the 8th. It's 7-5 Oakland on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. A's have brought in a right-hander, and he's a young minor league player that'll get a chance to work for them. His name is Blake Hassebrock. Spells the last name Hassebrock. Blake Hassebrock. And he will face Scott Cousins here with 2 outs. Angels have runners at second and third. Down by 2, 7-5 in the bottom of the 8th. Cousins has been up twice since coming into the game, and he's grounded out a pair of times.
Just put one up in the air and let it take it out. Come on. Throw one up there. Just throw one.
Hassebrock is set his first pitch, and that is a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike.
It's a pretty firm fastball he has. It's like mid-90s.
Right-hander is ready. And the next pitch, that's low and inside. Good stop on that one by the catcher, Muntz. So the count even. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Cousins, the 6th batter up in the inning. Angels have scored once in the inning. There's a swing and a miss. He was fooled on that pitch. And in the hole now, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
When you're dealing with the guy throwing hard, then you have the shadows come into effect, so it's really difficult to be able to pick up a baseball if you're a hitter, especially with a guy throwing the ball that hard on the mound.
The right-hander is ready, and the next pitch on Cousins, that's low and inside. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, exactly.
The Angels have had 4 hits in this inning, but it's translated into just 1 run. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. The 2-2 delivery on Cousins. He swings and lifts it foul on the left side. That's going to get back and out of play.
All right. I'm thinking. No pressure, 90. It's a pretty big number.
Luis Jimenez would be up next for the Angels. Hasselbrock is set, new baseball. And the two-strike pitch, a swing and a miss. He got him, struck him out. And that will end the inning. So the last two Angel batters with those runners in scoring position, striking out Grichuk and Cousins. In the inning, the Angels get one run on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 more left on. The Angels have stranded 9 today. We're headed to the 9th. It's 7-5 Oakland on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget, now is the perfect time to reserve a suite rental for the upcoming 2013 season. Suites offer 12 to 36 guests the opportunity to enjoy the game in a private and luxurious atmosphere. Suite rentals also offer all-inclusive food and non-alcoholic beverages. To reserve your suite, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/suites. We go to the 9th, new battery for the Angels. Buddy Boscher's on the hill. Jet Bandy behind the plate. And Darwin Perez batting, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike. 0-1. Boschers is a left-hander. He's been in the Angels organization for a few years now. And the next pitch, and that one on Perez, is in there for strike 2. Darwin Perez, who's batting, used to be in the Angels organization as well. He played at Double-A Arkansas last season, signing as a minor league player, free agent with Oakland in the offseason. There's a pitch that's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Boschers and Perez were actually teammates a little bit last season at Double-A Arkansas. Boschers had a pretty good year between Inland Empire and Arkansas last year. Averaged over 10 strikeouts every 9 innings of work. Pretty good arm. 4th round pick by the Angels back in 2008. And he misses outside with that one. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's showing a pretty good fastball, a sharp slider to 0-2 slider down and in, just missed.
The left-hander ready, and the next pitch, Perez lifts it in the air to right field. Grichuk has a long run down in that right field corner, and he makes a nice running grab. Good job there by Randall Grichuk, who showed some pretty good wheels to track that one down.
Well, Grichuk's not got to do any wind sprints after this game. He's had a couple times he had to go a long way to try to run down a fly ball with that wind, dealing with that. Able to run that down and make a nice play.
So 1 gone. Scott Moore will be the batter. Angels down by a pair, 7-5, 9th inning. Here's the pitch, and that one is up and in for ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Next delivery, that one is high and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Boschers is set. Here's his next delivery, and another pitch that misses inside and high. So the count, 3 balls and no strikes. Here's the 3-0, and he walks him on 4 pitches. He missed high again. So Boschers just couldn't get the pitches to cooperate in that matchup against Moore and Muntz. Luke Muntz, the A's catcher, will be the next batter with 1 out and a runner on at first base.
Yeah, all 4 of those pitches were elevated, those fastballs. He just didn't get over the front leg and able to finish off the pitch.
Here's the next delivery. It's bounced on the left side to the shortstop. Stamets to second, relay to first, just a little late. Pretty good takeout slide there on Romine. The Angels get the lead runner more on that takeout slide at second base erased, and now with 2 outs, Miles Head will be the next batter.
Well done by the middle infielders for the Angels. Good turn by Romine, good strong throw. He's able to beat that one out. A nice job as far as the footwork and the throws into second base.
So 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That one is high and outside. Miles Head, who's batting for the A's, was at one time in the Red Sox organization. He's a pretty highly thought of prospect in the A's system now. Pitch on its way, grounds one on the right side, skips off the glove of Romine, but he recovers and flips to second, and they have enough time to get the out on Muntz, the catcher, running from first to second. And the inning will end on the 4-6 fielder's choice. In the inning, Oakland no runs, no hits, 1 walk, no errors, and they leave a runner on base. They stranded at least 1 in every inning. But as we go to the bottom of the 9th, Angels need some runs, trailing the A's 7-5 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget the 20-game flex plan is a great way to see Angels baseball. Select the 20 games you want to see from over 70 home games and receive tickets to Fan Appreciation Day for free. Buy your flex plan today at angels.com/mini plans or call 888-796-HALO. Bottom of the ninth we go. First batter up for the Angels. Taking that pitch in there for a strike is Jimenez, and the count is 0-1. Jimenez, Stamets, and Romine, the batters scheduled against new pitcher James Simmons for Oakland. And the pitch fouled off on the right side. The count quickly moves to 0-2 on Luis Jimenez. The Angels down 7-5. Bottom of the ninth inning. Here's the next pitch. Lifted in the air into left field, right near the left fielder, though. Peterson is there waiting in medium left. Easy play, one gone, bottom of the ninth. So the batter now for the Angels is Stamets. He drew a walk his first time up for the Angels today. That was in the bottom of the seventh, and the pitch on Stamets. He takes that one for a called strike.
I'd like to be able to see Stamets use those wheels right now, put the ball in play, hit it in the ground.
Here's the next pitch. He looks it over. It's in there for a called strike. Simmons has moved in front. It's now 0-2. The right-hander's delivery on the outside corner struck him out looking. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth. And the Angels hoping that Andrew Romine can keep it going. Here's a pitch on Andrew. In there for a called strike.
Well, Simmons throwing a lot of strikes out of the bullpen for Oakland.
Sure has. He's their 8th pitcher today. And his next delivery fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. So the Angels down to their final strike in this ball game. Right after the game, Jose Mota will chat with Angels manager Mike Scioscia. We'll have that for you. The 0-2. Popped up foul on the left side, backing out of play. Gooby, when am I going to see you again here in Arizona?
I'll be back next Friday, March 1st. And then March 1st and 3rd, and then back on the 5th.
All right, so you'll
back
be
and
in for Weave's outing.
Yes,
you're back when the big guys start playing for the Angels. I see how
just
it works.
To navigate my way around, asking when they were going to play their first game. And
I see how it works.
I'll be back
now.
at that point.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll hold the fort down for you the rest of the week.
I appreciate that.
Here's the next delivery, lifted in the air to center field. Michael Choice is there waiting. This should do it. It will. He makes the catch, and the ball game is over. So the Angels have a quiet bottom of the ninth inning here, going down 1-2-3 against reliever James Simmons. The Angels fall here today. Mike Scioscia still talking to the umpires, I think, about that Bill Hall ball that appeared to go over the wall in left field. We're going to get ready now to go down to Jose Mota and Angels manager Mike Scioscia.
Well, Mike, usually you don't have to go out and question some plays here in exhibition season. Tell us what happened with that ball over to left field.
Must have been an optical illusion. From here, it looked like it hit on the bank and came back, but they said it hit the top of the fence, which is in play, the top of that, the Cyclone fence. So, it's just one of those calls.
Mike, this early in spring training, what are you looking for, considering that you have an extra week of games, and why this should be beneficial to some players?
Well, I think it's some of the guys that are obviously some of the veteran guys that are trying to make our club. It's going to be good to them to try to get into the flow and get into the swing a little bit earlier. Anytime you have more playing time, it can help any player. Young players are going to get a chance to play. We saw some of our young players come up, and you can see how they handle themselves in some situation. And although we didn't come away with any wins in the first couple games, there's some good things our young guys did.
Bill Hall is one of those guys that's trying to make this ball club. What does he bring to your ball club, knowing that you are a guy that likes guys to we're versatile?
Well, we're trying him in a new position, first base, just to increase his versatility. He's played the middle and third base, also plays some outfield, but he's got some thunder in his bat. He can still drive the ball. He's in great shape and had a couple good at-bats this afternoon.
Tell us about the regular players with the position players in the rotation. When might you incorporate them into the flow here in preseason?
Yeah, some of the guys will start folding in tomorrow. Mike Trout will play tomorrow. Peter Borges will get back in there tomorrow. Eric Ibar. By Wednesday, we should have everyone but Albert that'll be in games.
Ibar, because he's going to the World Baseball Classic on a different program?
Yeah, he is. He's been more aggressive. He came in, come from the Dominican. He played a little there in the winter. Came into camp in shape. So he's been aggressive, and he needs these games. These are really what they're for, the guys that are going to the WBC. So he'll play a little more this week.
Thank you very much, Mike.
All right, Jose, thank you.
Terry, he's back. All yours, and I'm right back to you.
All right, thanks, Jose. Jose Mota and Angels manager Mike Scioscia. Again, the final score today from Tempe Diablo Stadium. The A's over the Angels 7-5. For those watching on TV, Jose and Mark Gubicza will have a lot more post-game analysis. And on the radio side, we'll have more from Tempe as well. This is the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West.